And no changes for the Kiwis. How important is the top order on a surface like this that we expect to get slow and low? Seifert, Allen, Ravindra being in good form, and then a really experienced middle order. They've got left and right hand combinations, and then a couple of spinners, a couple of quicks. It's such a versatile team.
And Nasser Hussain, England, one change.
Yeah, one change. They have been unchanged for their last 5 games, but probably due to conditions, Rayan Ahmed comes in for Jamie Overton. They would love their openers today to find some form. Salt and Butler at the top of the order. It looks like Brook will stay at 3. Why not? Here are the 2 Kiwi openers. Always a great game, this, between New Zealand and England.
New Zealand bowled 17 overs of spin. World Cup debut for Rayan Ahmed. Special occasion for him, and that will be conditions driven. Harry Brook said at the toss that he watched the game here the other night, and even Mitchell Santner, who played in it, said they were surprised at the amount of spin when they looked at the pitch surface. It's the same surface, for those of you who weren't able to watch the build-up, the same surface New Zealand beat Sri Lanka on the other night. So there's a favourable boundary to one side, which is negligible in terms of distance, really, and it became a big target. New Zealand made most of that in the last 4 or 5 overs when they batted. England will have noticed that as well. Jofra Archer will take the new ball. He'll look to strike early, and if they can get stuck into this New Zealand top order, that will be a delight to their skipper Harry Brook. Vast experience of Josh Butler. And Allen and Tim Seifert, Nasser have been quite formidable in this as a combination.
Yeah, with spin to come, and they know that it might get harder. The power play becomes so vital. They will go hard. Remember, there's more pressure on New Zealand. England are through, they are qualified, they're trying to top the group. But New Zealand don't want to leave anything to chance.
And you were here the other night, Aaron Finch. You looked at the pitch as well, both you and Nasser. What are you thinking? And you think spin will be as dominant tonight?
Spin will certainly be as dominant. I have a slightly different take on it to Nasser. Often you turn up to a surface that you think will get harder and more difficult to bat on as the game goes on, and as an opener you feel as though that your job is to get out there and get off to a fly. But I feel on a wicket like this you can afford to take a few more balls, invest some time into your innings, because wickets in hand towards the back end seem to be so crucial. And how important will Jofra Archer be with this brand new ball?
Well, Jofra Archer's got an interesting field set for me. He's got a deep mid-wicket, and that may be because he's going to take pace off, or they feel it's going to go in the air squarer than it would be finer. Normally he's involved with pace as well. He's got a deep backward point, who's very wide if you want to call him a third. No slips in play at this point, although they've got a deep sort of third or fourth slip, or short third man, I suppose you'd have to say as well. You can a shortish cover, a point. It's an interesting field set. It's almost a bob each way field.
It is. At the start of the tournament, Jofra Archer was...
Seifert and Allen are 6 hitters. Let's go, folks. We're in Colombo, and here's Jofra Archer. Slower ball to start.
Yeah, excellent call, Ian Smith. Before a ball went down, he looked at the field, and he also knows this pitch. England know this pitch. They'd have done their homework, and Jofra started with a slower ball.
Well, you can just see here how dry and how bare this surface is. Even with the new ball, you'll get some hold in the surface. The height of Jofra, often it'll be just slight cutters as well. Leg cut, off cut, stick in the wicket.
Just a little bit of seam movement, and we might just see a little bit. It won't last long. Might see a little bit of that, but that definitely had some movement away from the right-hander.
And here's the New Zealand side. No changes from their previous win against Sri Lanka, which was such a dominant performance for majority of the game. Paul McConkey, you see him down there at number 8, had a significant impact with bat and ball.
He did, he had to, because that top order failed. New Zealand were in deep trouble, and it was Mitchell Santner and McConkey that got him out of it.
Yeah, Rayan Ahmed for his T20 World Cup debut comes in for Overton.
Well, fine leg is up, so that option is on for Tim Seifert.
Yeah, the second delivery seamed away. That just seamed back in, and that's why Seifert missed it. Fine leg up, third up. England spinners are both warming up. If the two right-handers stay in, as we look at the scoop, it may be Dawson. Jack's opened a couple of games ago in Pallekele and opened well. They're just seeing who will be in. Right-handers, left-hander may come in next. I think it'll be Dawson if these two stay in the next over.
Oh, let's cut him in half. That's coming off the surface. Jofra Archer's a little bit interested, but Josh Buttler not in terms of contact.
Yeah, seam again. You often associate brand new ball and seaming wickets with a lot of grass. Often it can be the bare patches. The ball just has an opportunity to grip into the wicket. If you think back to last match that was played here, Matt Henry, brand new ball, bowled an absolute beauty first up. Pathum Nissanka, even with the old ball, just a fraction of seam. Glenn Phillips got knocked over.
Well, we might be in the first over, but something's going to give here, I think. This can't continue from Tim Seifert's point of view, and that's given all right. He's given out, caught behind, and Tim Seifert has decided he will review it straight away, which is a definite sign he believes it was not bat, maybe back leg.
Well, Jofra was completely convinced. He thought it was an inside edge. Another nip backer. Seifert reviews straight away.
We have a player review for caught behind. The on-field decision is out. It's a fair delivery. Now I'm looking at the split screen. Yeah, there is a clear gap between batsman. Roll it up to the pad, please. Yeah, can I have the outrage to confirm that it hit the back thigh? Yeah, keep rolling, keep rolling. Yeah, it's hit the back thigh, so not caught behind. Can I have the ball tracking with original decision of out? Yeah, original decision is out. Pitching outside off, impact in line, wickets missing. SN, you need to reverse your decision. Stand by.
It's an all-round not out.
Signal.
Be fair, let's get on with it. 5 balls gone, 5 dots. What's going to happen here? Seifert made contact. It's a maiden, the second one only. None for none.
Excellent start from Jofra Archer. As Aaron Finch said, the movement is not coming from damp. There's not much dampness in at the Premadasa. This is from a dry surface and that hard seam. And that seam is gripping into those dry cracks. That was a super start from Jofra Archer, it really was.
Beautiful sights of Colombo at night. Wow, look at the fireworks in the background. It's just been in such a transition, this city. City of Dreams, they call it. And at the moment, it's England who have dominated the very first phase of this contest. New Zealand deciding to bat first. Couldn't get a run in the first over. Liam Dawson, 2 right-handers at the crease. That'll be why he's in so early.
In the game the other night, we saw some big spin. It was the beauty from Jofra Archer, given out on field. Buttler wasn't convinced, and he was proven right.
Single to get New Zealand underway. It's been tough going early.
And this is why I think that you can spend some more time assessing the conditions. All these players are superstars in their own right, will play a big role. Jofra started off beautifully. Because even though there was big spin in the previous game on this wicket, there was also some balls that skidded through, and that's one of the challenges as a right-hander that they'll face against the left arm spin of Dawson first up. Will one hit the seam and hold in the wicket? Will one just hit the shiny side and skid through straight?
The other thing to take into account, they'll come back for 2 here, and that's pretty good running to get Seifert underway. So New Zealand only had to get 168 the other night. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, they're not after aiming for the moon here in terms of first innings total. Not 220, 230. They'll make sure that they have a bare minimum of around 160, which is a winning score the other night, and then anything over that they'll think is cream on top. But so they don't have to worry about really smashing it in the power play and making sure they get to 60 after 6.
I had a good chat to Rachin Ravindra before the game. We're talking about how he would go about it, whether they bat first or second, and he said often you just have to aim at that 150 mark and hope you get a good finish.
Beautifully played, very clever batting from Tim Seifert. Got across to off stump, accessed deep backward square where there were vacant spaces.
Yeah, we're in that power play where only 2 are allowed out, and one's at long off and one's at cow corner, so he went shuffling across his stumps and just hit it on the up. Once you get it past the man on the inner circle, there's no one in the deep. Sensible, smart batting, first boundary for New Zealand.
Eight off the over from Dawson, and after 2 overs, that's New Zealand's score without loss. Points table, just to remind you of the significance of this encounter. England are comfortable. They know they're heading to the semi-finals. New Zealand don't, and neither do Pakistan. New Zealand can confirm it tonight. They'll go to the head of the table. Pakistan and Sri Lanka will play for pride tomorrow night. Palakelli. That's what's at stake. Confirming tomorrow night, Sri Lanka, the hosts, will hope for a happy ending to this tournament against Pakistan. Pretty depressing scenes here the other night when they left the ground knowing it was over. There's Archer, over number 2 for him, and New Zealand still really can't lay bat on him.
Superb first over from Jofra Archer, set the tone, started with a slower ball and then just hit that seam, one going away and then quite a few nipping back in. That's his stop delivery really, the off cutter against left hand as he goes, it gets it going away from him. Superb start from Archer.
That last delivery, 147.3. We talk about the slower ball, but you know as a batter within the, you know, Archer's capabilities, he can get 148 to 150, so that's in your mind. You can't take liberties in thinking about he won't be quick tonight. He's got both in his armoury. First ball he's bowled to Finn Allen, and that climbed.
Start setting up for slow balls to someone who's got that up their sleeve. Smithy, you'll be in some real strife. He's just so aggressive. I think that was set up by the slow ball first ball. First ball that he bowled was a slow ball. Since then it's been seam up, pace on, using all the attributes that he's got. It's a fraction of inconsistent bounce at times. With this brand new ball there'll be, well, we've seen significant seam, but it won't last long.
What's that? Out of the middle and clears long on with real ease. Lovely timing from Allen.
And now he regrets going back to the slower ball. And it was just that fraction full as well. On a pitch like this, the batter is waiting for it up. He just waited long enough and picked it up beautifully.
That's a sign of somebody watching the ball so closely. Guys zipping them through, seaming them round. Waits and waits and waits for that slower ball. Beautiful batting.
First time actually Finn Allen's been hit for 6 in the power play in this World Cup. Sorry, Jofra Archer, Finn Allen taking him downtown there. Average first innings in 6 completed matches here in this tournament, 172. Every team batting first has posted at least 160. That will be the bare minimum from New Zealand's point of view. Adrian Holdstock and Hassan Raza are the men in the middle. 60th T20 for Adrian Holdstock. He's getting up there. Harry Brook at mid-on will be pretty happy with the start and happy with the way Archer has gone in this tournament.
Yeah, he's got his speeds up as he's gone through the tournament. He's moved away from slower balls and cutters. He realised that one of his main strengths is bowling fast, and he makes it look so easy, effortless. And that makes it harder as a batter because he jogs in, and that makes it even harder as a right-hander, close to the stumps, nipping it back in.
Can't make contact with that one either, but it was a better over from Archer from New Zealand's point of view. 9 from it, 17 for none. Takes you back. The old Beige Brigade. That was a great era of cricket when men were men and getting paid nothing. They got pride back then, Finchy. First ever T20 actually was between New Zealand and Australia at Eden Park, and New Zealand played in that exact kit. Only a distant thought for this young bunch. Can't get it again. Tim Seifert looking up the line over extra cover. Restrictions, of course, in the first 6 overs, only 2 players out of that inside 30-yard circle, and they are at a deep, wide mid-wicket, but in off the fence about 25 paces and a long on.
Yeah, it's just a slight change. Long off was back. He comes up inside the circle, trying to get the 2 New Zealand batters to play against the angle from Dawson here.
Beautifully timed by Finn Allen. Use of the feet, spot on, getting him into a perfect position.
Telegraph change there from Dawson because long on went back. Finn Allen knows that he has to bowl really straight, so it's beautiful use of the feet. How far he swings that bat. Barely swung it at all. Travels 87 metres. That's how strong he is. But it's the footwork that's so crucial on a wicket like this.
Got to keep an eye on the fielding and running on that side as well. England were quite brilliant against Pakistan in Pally with the amount of 2s they got, and Pakistan's fielders just could not work out where to stand. Now that's the bigger side, so running between the wickets and fielding on that side in what could be a lowish scoring game could be absolutely vital.
Now for Seifert on strike, they have got a long off, so long on becomes long off. Harry Brook goes to an orthodox sort of mid-on the circle. Dumps it down towards that player we just mentioned. Milestones coming up in this game to look out for. Joss Buttler seems to have been around forever. 5 more for 300 T20 catches, and Cole McConkey, who was the star the other night, needs 49 for 2,000 T20 runs.
Noticeable that the 2 balls that have been pitched up, one from Archer, one from Dawson, have gone for 6. When you do have a slightly tired surface, make use of it. Obviously, without being predictable, if it's up, it's off. You do have to bowl it into the surface without being predictable. Hide it away from the short boundary.
Seifert can't get the timing, but he gets lucky because of that. He was looking to hit it over mid-on and was hit big wide part of the bat, the outside edge. Fortune there, 28 for none after 4. in terms of this match, and of course the locals are not involved, so we won't have anything like the sellout we had the other night, but we'll have a good atmosphere as we have throughout this tournament. It's been really well populated. Head to head, well, there's slight advantage for England at this stage. Archer, it's not unusual for him to bowl 3 straight and for Harry Brook to leave him one in either the middle or towards the end of the innings to break things up. New Zealand just cannot lay bat on him. That delivery that Seifert mistimed with the last over, just looking for any semblance of turn or anything of that nature.
Just a fraction, Smithy. But because he got so close to it, he got away with it. And I feel as though this is a really important over in the game. Archer going 3 in the power play. New Zealand still being none down, I think it's significant. You've got a wicket that we understand the new batter will walk to the crease and find it difficult to get off strike and difficult ground to hit boundaries. So if this partnership can get through this over, they can really start to attack the middle overs.
Oh boy, that sounded good, looked good to Seifert. It raced away over cover.
Yeah, first fraction of width. It just takes one stump too wide for these world-class openers nowadays. His line has been absolutely immaculate, but you go one stump too wide to right-handers who are looking to stay leg side of it anyway, and that opens up the offside. Free your hands, get the boundary.
Terrific start to this over for Seifert. And again, down through mid-on, and that'll race away as well. There's no stopping it on this fast surface.
It's hard to describe how difficult that shot is. That's back of a length. Yes, it's a fraction of width, which allows Seifert to get his hands through the ball. To get enough bat on that to get it straight down the ground for 4 is incredible batting. It's not medium pace. That's up around 145 Ks.
Oh, even better. Deep over mid-wicket. They've got Archer's measure all of a sudden.
Yeah, and Harry Brook's thinking, should I have bowled him 3 in the power play? Have they just got used to that pace and that length? Should I have changed it? Fraction short, and he was waiting. Belted it, such a good position he gets in there, Seifert. He's hit it a long way, but without overhitting. Such a strong base to hit.
Problem now, England, all of a sudden this is turning out to be a very good power play. That was there to hit too, and he just could not get the timing, Seifert.
Yeah, that was more in the slot than the previous 3 deliveries. And he just lost his shape for the first time. Maybe a glove that was slightly slippery with the sweat, but he lost his shape.
Here is a look at the 3 boundaries this over. And I mentioned before the innings started that it's a surface that you can afford to take a couple more balls to get yourself in, because it's not easy to get the timing of a wicket like this straight away, and both batters have done this. Yes, there was exceptional bowling in the first couple of overs from Archer. See, now he's forced to change. This is a defensive change from Jofra Archer. All of a sudden, he's thinking, how can I get out of this over?
Can't go wide of off stump because that protection is gone. Has to be in tight, and that's what he is. Good bowler that he is. Makes the adjustment. But a good over for New Zealand. Their best. 44 for none, 5 gone.
Change of field. Deep square leg comes into the ring. Last ball of the power play. It's been a good one, real good one for New Zealand. Misfield. England's ground fielding against Pakistan in Pallekele was suboptimal. That's the first little fumble. So an excellent first 6 from New Zealand, given we had a maiden to start the game. 54 without lost drinks. Odd start, Morgs, from England, really. Fantastic from Archer. Then did Harry Brook roll the dice with Jofra going 3 on the spin? He's done it before.
Yeah, has done it before and stayed consistent with decisions that he has made in the tournament so far. Expensive overs though from Archer, and then from Sam Curran. I do think it was a gamble. Could have easily gone to the likes of Adil Rashid. Just when momentum is shifting, Adil Rashid is normally the go-to bowler for this England side, but going in today with a change of balance inside. New Zealand 4 without loss after the power play, nicely into a phase of the game that possibly could define who wins and loses today, given the conditions that we have in front of ourselves.
First time in the tournament that England failed to take a wicket in the power play. Excellent from Seifert and Allen.
And I know Adil Rashid's a terrific bowler, one of the best in the game, wrist spin point of view. Is he a reluctant power play bowler?
No, not at all. Not at all. He's more than happy to bowl anywhere. Takes on the responsibility, the role of one of England's finest ever white ball cricketers. But with that responsibility is the willingness to get into big moments in the game. And the power play certainly could be one if the pitch continues to slow up today. While that ball is brand new, particularly when you're facing seam, you would identify that as opposition and thinking if you can go hard in the power play, either setting the tone or chasing later on. So we play a key role today on both sides and how they utilised Mitchell Santner on his side of things, how he introduces himself into the attack and what period. Equally for England and Harry Brook, how they utilise Adil Rashid is vital. You don't want to get to a stage where you need to be rescued the whole time. You want to try and control the game, recognise the position that you're in.
4 priceless overs then from Adil Rashid to deliver for his team. How will Harry Brook utilise his class? On to him straight away once the fielding restrictions have been released. Plenty of variation. Deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, deep long on, long off, and a man on the cover fence as well. Sheets first ball. Not happy just to get into his work.
I just wonder, I mean, they all say they watched the game the other night, the English side, the New Zealand-Sri Lanka game. In your thoughts, I guess. Gents played a lot of cricket. Morgs captain a lot. I would have a change of field. I'd be throwing this 6 to 8 inches outside the line of off stump and having an extra fielder, boundary rider offside. Make New Zealand look to really reach if they want to go to that short side.
Slow, stoppy turn.
Batija, Facebook, YouTube,
Yeah,
wala barraw himshim.
I wouldn't start with that field. Field that I wouldn't be dissimilar to the one that Adil Rashid has at the moment. I'd actually bring point across into mid-wicket just to try and get balls at one particular batter.
Or at the front of the hand.
Because then that allows Adil Rashid not only to run through his variation, but to build pressure. We anticipate this game possibly being a 160, 165 type of a surface. Opportunities to get wickets, given the start New Zealand have had, are going to be few and far between because they don't necessarily have to target. Adil Rashid. So working incredibly hard, given the role that the spinners will play in this World Cup, particularly the further you get towards the latter stages of the tournament. Ryan Ahmed in for his first game of this World Cup. Good to see Jacob Bethel back bowling as well.
Slog sweep. Man in the long on position, can't get there. It's Banton. He was a little bit in, trying to perhaps protect the two. I'm not sure he would have caught it even if he was right on the fence, but he's got all of it. As Tim Seifert, another 6.
The line of this is not bad, to be honest. It's still outside the line of off stump, but just not quite far enough. Such a short hit.
Tries to go again, and there's a stumping opportunity if he's lifted his foot, but I think he's out. I think he thinks he's out and is walking off. So Rashid gets dumped for a big 6 and then has his revenge. England had their first breakthrough, but only after an excellent start from New Zealand. 64 for 1.
Yeah, England seem confident. Tim Seifert walking off. One of Adil Rashid's real strengths.
We have a review for stumping.
6.
It's a fairly easy. I'm looking at the try
ফেসবুক বা ইউটিউবে আপনার ক্রিকেট লাইভ
collected behind the stump.
টিভি স্টাইল প্রো লুকে দেখাতে পারতেন।
Yeah, one more frame, one more. Yeah, keep rolling, keep rolling. Can you zoom this one for me, please? Right hand side. Yeah, now roll back and roll forward, please. Now roll forward. Yeah, freeze it here. I can see no part of the foot is behind the line. When the bails are off, I'm ready to make my decision for the big screen.
Well, because Tim Seifert walked off, I was assuming he was about a yard out of his crease. He was absolutely on the minimum. He actually had to be held back by the 4th official before he crossed the line. But he's gone, 64 for 1. Thought he would have been a yard out. Well, he just turned around and promptly walked off, but he knew. So Rachin Ravindra, player of the match the other evening against Sri Lanka in that fabulous all-round New Zealand fight back. It really was terrific, showed a lot of character. He was right at the centre of it. Places Seifert. All-round cricketer. Number 3 for New Zealand, Ravindra. So we've had 7, 64 for 1. Left-hand, right-hand combination.
We talk about the quality of Adil Rashid. How you bounce back from being hit. More flight, more skill. Reds on the ball. Does Seifert in the air. Good piece of work from Jos Buttler as well to finish off. Incredible piece of skill from Rashid.
He's played a good hand though, Seifert, because it was a difficult start. Slow from Will Jacks.
It's also an issue when you have one really short side. From a batting point of view, just trying to access only that one side. Extra cover's wide open. In that situation, for Tim Seifert, you've got to be thinking about that option over cover, over extra cover. But because in your mind, you're so set on just having a short side. Beautiful bowling from Adil Rashid, as you said, Morgs, the flight and the
hands of Bethel.
Well, this is a gift for England. Finn Allen, who has looked introduced into the attack to primarily bowl at Rachin Ravindra, you would say, but this is an absolute gimme. Chips it pin high straight to Jacob Bethel. That is a simple catch, and England have 2. I'll be very happy with that. Against the run of play, Allen goes for 29. New Zealand 66 for 2.
Quite sure what Finn Allen was trying to do there. It was just a flip leg side, and I know he strikes the ball beautifully, but that's a big boundary to try and flip it for 6. Or was he trying to flip it in the gap?
I wonder whether he's just trying to flick it more along the ground, and he's just got it a lot better and straight to the man. He didn't go through with the shot like you normally imagine for Finn Allen.
A bit of a gift for England to get rid of Finn Allen. Brings Glenn Phillips to the crease. Fantastic all-round cricketer. What an interesting period of the game here. And having control to start with, and then the excellent fight back from the two openers, Seifert and Finn Allen. Pitch on which you could start to lose wickets in clusters. Good from Jacks. Easy as you like for Jacob Bethel. You see that strapping though on his hand. Excellent from Will Jacks, 66 for 2. Plenty of options to bowl spin for Harry Brook today with the change in lineup. Overton out, Rehan Ahmed in. We have been watching Jacob Bethel bowl in the warm-up, and apparently he bowled for 45 minutes the other day. The problem is he cannot have any strapping on it in the game when he's bowling. He can have it in the outfield, but he can't bowl without that strapping or that protection. They're worried about infection. Wonderful stadium here in Colombo, the Prima Dasa. Rashid second. So really nicely flighted delivery. So there is the, we'll see it when we see the finger in just a sec. There is the protection. Cut it on the LED boards in the game against West Indies in Mumbai. So that was the second group game. It's been a while. Taking a while to heal. Low loopy again. No, I don't think so.
The other thing that, talking to Kumar Sangakkara, Rossalano the other day, that the thing that works more so here is the slow spin. It turns a lot more. It's a great example, the wicket ball of Tim Seifert as well. The slower you bowl it, the wider you bowl it, the more it turns.
Pushed out the front of the hand, and a slight fumble at extra cover. And it's the captain. England's ground fielding was not great in Candy the other evening against Pakistan. Too many mistakes, little ones. Oh, beautifully as a group. A couple of fumbles were very costly. They probably gifted 20 runs up against Pakistan in Palakelly. Rashid was interested. I got it spot on, just pitching marginally outside the leg stump. Down the ground, it's a slowish delivery, and that's a fantastic strike. Phillips is a muscular player, and he's a dangerous player.
Big striker of a cricket ball, Glenn Phillips. This is picked and played on merit. There's no premeditation in this. It's the googly from Rashid. Very few players can pick that googly, let alone club it for 6. That is a lovely cricket shot.
Lovely balance, strong bottom hand grip from Glenn Phillips. This one's pulled away. As he pulled it away into the gap, he has terrific batting, waited on that, picked the length so quickly, placed it so perfectly.
I figure from a batting point of view, it might be slightly shorter. I don't think it was that short, but he's just so quick on his feet. Power and the timing there from Phillips, exceptional. Stays nice and low.
Push through. In the end, the bat came down in time, 77 for 2. I haven't seen Glenn Phillips for a while, do we? He's eaten some spinach. He wasn't a slight individual or a weak individual before, but gracious me, the size of him.
77 for 2. Yeah, it just continues to be that energizer, but he can't stop. He's talked openly about the ADHD and his inability to not do something, and it's great. He's a great example of, like, I mean, he's into fly. He wants to be a pilot. His photography. Spends probably an hour and a half, 2 hours at the gym a day.
Does he lift the gym up and take it home with him? Jacks to bowl his second. Excellent figures to start with, 1 for 2. As Moore's quite rightly said, I think he was brought on to bowl at the left-handed Rachin Ravindra, but he picked up the right-handed batsman. Privileged throw in Morgan. Got his hands on the World T20 trophy. Two-time champions, of course, England in this event. From what we've seen so far, gentlemen, what is par? And Dooley, from the other evening, how did the pitch change? Did it change going into the second half?
It did change. It started to turn more, yes. But what New Zealand learnt from the first innings was to bowl wide. I've said it a few times already. They bowled a foot wide of off stump. It turned like that. But they basically bowled from the Will Jacks' end to the left-hander. Cole McConkey bowled a foot and more wide of off stump and said, if you want to hit me offside, I'll have fielders, I'll have protection. Rachin Ravindra, Mitchell Santner bowled from our commentary end and did exactly the same thing. If you want to fetch anything to the short side of the boundary, good luck to you. And that's how, well, that was Sri Lanka's downfall, basically. And New Zealand just stuck to that plan, which I talked about after the game. From a bowling point of view, not going anywhere near the wickets is a really hard thing to do.
Edged away. Probably going to get 4. Dawson will not cut that off. So it's been excellent from Jacks up to that point. A bit of fortune brings New Zealand another boundary.
Jacks won't mind this. Just going on with the arm. Turn in the shiny side of the ball and just running through. Nice piece of bowling.
Last ball coming up of the 10th. Dot ends the over. 84 for 2 from 10.
Halfway through the innings then, 84 for 2 on a used pitch. It's taking spin. England have made a change to their team. They brought in an extra spinner tonight. Rain Ahmed is in for Jamie Overton, but it won't be Rain Ahmed yet. It'll be Jacob Bethel for the first time with the ball, actually. The last time we saw him in operation was the 3-match series against Sri Lanka just before the World Cup began. Maybe that's why he starts with a full toss. Maybe he's a little bit rusty, Nas.
Yeah, he's had a dodgy digit, hasn't he? He's had a sore finger, which has stopped him from bowling. He's not used the facilities here on a pitch that's slow and gripping. Probably best to land it. Like nervy first ball from Bethel.
Call is 2, and that's the kind of pocket there very longest part of the ground where teams will be eyeing up plenty of twos. England hit 14 actually in their last game in Pallekele, so they're well used to that kind of a tactic, and it means the captains will have to get their fielders slightly in off the boundary to the long side, as Harry Brook has done.
Especially with Phillips in. He's one of the quickest, if not the quickest in the world.
You do you over 100, Nas, I reckon, just about. Even if you're in your pomp. Oh, lovely from Bethel on the angle, and slightly quicker and sliding across. Rachin Ravindra. Good evening, Aaron.
Evening, Nath. Evening, Nas. Yeah, just change of angle there. Trying to shut down Rachin's ability to play through the offside. So much margin for error for a spinner on a surface like this. You just have to get it in and around an area.
Into that quadrant again, but just the one this time because it was hit more sweetly. You were here the other night, weren't you? Is this a similar looking and similar playing pitch?
It's played exactly the same as what it did the other night. We probably didn't see as much grass as what you'd expect looking at the rest of the square, which is beautifully presented.
I was going to ask that. I mean, it's curious that we're playing on a used pitch because this is the last Super 8 game in Colombo. They could have a semi if Pakistan get through, but the rest of the square is pristine. Why not a fresh pitch for this game?
Well, there was a pitch ready to go for the New Zealand-Sri Lanka game.
Firmly hit down the ground and absolutely straight, and therefore a boundary the result. And he's come out and looked in tremendous touch as Glenn Phillips.
Any time that England have overpitched today, they've been hurt, whether it's been the pace or the spin. It's a beautiful shot. Yeah, you can see the disappointment from Bethel. He knows he's been brought on predominantly to try and get the wicket of Glenn Phillips. Can afford to bowl a fraction slower, find a length.
2, says Phillips immediately, and 2 will be the result. So it's another decent over for New Zealand, 97 for 2.
The wicket has played the same. England gone in with the extra spinner. New Zealand unchanged. Struggled to get bat on ball for the first couple of overs, particularly from Jofra Archer. And Seifert and Allen, they found their range. This is where you'd expect England to really squeeze new batters, but Phillips and Rachin have been good.
It's a bit of a scratchy start from Seifert, but he and Finn Allen found their range in the second half of the opening power play. Both fell just after that, and it's been spin since then. Now it's Rehan Ahmed for his debut in the World Cup. And he starts with a wicket, would you believe it? It's Bethel out in the deep, the very safe hands of Jacob Bethel, and Rehan Ahmed into the side and immediately into the wickets.
Yeah, it was a bit of a drag down. It was a wrong un. Rachin Ravindra trying to take down that short boundary. It just died on him in pace, and he had to try and find the pace himself. He couldn't. Bethel, who was a bit sloppy in the field in Pallekele in the last game, not sloppy there. One delivery in a T20 World Cup for Rehan Ahmed. One wicket out of Rachin Ravindra. It's 97 for 3.
Three down New Zealand now. Mark Chapman into the middle. He got a cracking delivery, second ball from Theekshana the other evening here that knocked back his off stump. Got a bit of time to get his bearings here. Harry Brook keen to keep pressing. He knows that spinners are his wicket-taking options in this middle phase. He's brought himself into slip.
Similar delivery, really, that got the wicket. He's going to hide it outside off. Going to bowl it into the surface, toe end of Rachin Ravindra's bat. No mistake from Bethel.
Said Bethel struggled in the field. It was the ground fielding, wasn't it? He knocked 2 over the boundary rope. His catching has always been excellent, but England probably gave away 15 in the field the other evening. That'll be one area that Harry Brook would like to see tightened up. The other area, obviously, is the opening partnership. And Jos Buttler, Aaron, as a former opener, you know what it's like having to come out immediately and get things going. What have you made of Jos Buttler in the competition?
It just feels as though he's searching for the ball. It's been easy. See the 100 come up for New Zealand in good time. Side 12 overs. Yeah, often you formulate a plan of how you think you want to play when the World Cup starts, and you assess the conditions, and often you can start to overthink things at the top of the order.
Firmly hit. Phillips has played a really good hand here. Immediately that he came to the crease, he's looked in confident touch. He's whistled on to 26 from just a dozen deliveries.
He's played beautifully. He's been busy at the crease. Hasn't allowed the bowlers to settle. Anything that's been slightly over pitched, he's been prepared to thump down the ground.
Picked something slightly shorter this time, and he's so quickly onto that. That is the long boundary, so it's only a couple. 106 for 3. So just going back to Butt, you think England are absolutely right just to keep him at the top of the order. You wouldn't bother changing the order and saying, why don't you slip down and try and find some form there?
I certainly wouldn't, because he's such a beautiful player at the top of the order. We know how good he's been over a long period of time. So when you get into a situation like that, say, Jos Buttler, look how many runs you've scored in the past. Go out there, play your natural game. If that means that you want to start lapping, be prepared to go to your lap early. Be prepared to play the game in front of you. Often, you can, when I say overthink things, that means overthinking has a couple of different ways to go about it. You can start to think about dismissals, and you start to think, right, do I just give myself a few more balls? On a surface like this, I think it'll play into his hands a bit more.
All that is ahead of us right now. It's Liam Dawson who bowled 1 over in the power play. That's gone high. Might just get away with it. Would you believe that? Jacks was hustling in from long on. Brook was at mid-wicket. It went a long, long way in the air, but landed between the two.
It's a better length. On some pitches, this is just a drag down length, but anything that's full has been dispatched. Bowlers have to just be a foot shorter in this surface, not offer up full deliveries to be smashed down the ground.
All those who were here the other night said that it was the slower and wider balls that were spinning. Dawson's a different type of spinner. He's been very much stump to stump in this tournament. Just about there. That's his strength. It's probably sliding down.
Yeah, I think Buttler thinks it's sliding down. It just skidded, and as Michael Atherton said, that is his strength. If you think of Adil Rashid, who bowls flighty, big turning leg breaks, Dawson much more a stump-to-stump bowler. This is his stock delivery. Just there. Skid on, and the odd one will grip. Close, just sliding, maybe clipping at best.
Yeah, it's a good combination, Dawson and Rashid. They tend to spin it the same way, but taking 18 wickets before this game between them. Very different bowlers. on-field call so important there. Butler, of course, would have had a wonderful view of the line of the ball. Quicker, wider.
Shows the versatility of Dawson as well. We've seen one skid through in a defensive ball wide. That's what makes it hard on a wicket like this against spin at times, particularly as a right-hander to a left-arm finger spinner. Couple of balls spin, couple skid through, and this is an example from the other night. The ball spinning big. That was the one that Chapman got from Theekshana. It's an absolute beauty. And when New Zealand got the ball in the hand, they just continued to go wide and say, you want access to short side, you've got to go against the angle and the turn.
Yeah, well hit. And because the man has to be in, because of the size of that boundary, I think it's Phil Salt out there. He's about 15, 20 yards in from the boundary. So this is one bounce full, but way over Salt's head.
That's an acceptable boundary for England, because your fielders are in hunting at catch, hunting it down to try and cut down twos. So you understand that every now and then that kind of shot will happen, and you accept that as a captain, as a team. What's happened now? Harry Brook has gone across to cover. Mid-wicket's open.
And mid-wicket is open, and mid-wicket is exactly where Mark Chapman goes. So this is a good end to the over for New Zealand. Consecutive fours, 116 for 3.
And that's where your left-hand, right-hand combination is so important, because Dawson is spinning into the left-hander all the time, and any batter will tell you they prefer it spinning in. Hit with the spin, one off the back foot, over Salt, one off the front foot, past Salt.
Good little passage of play, this for New Zealand, with Phillips immediately finding his touch and Chapman the same. Key part of the game. Middle phase with the spinners on and trying to squeeze. Left-hand, right-hand combination working for New Zealand. Will Jacks.
There's been a lot of talk around the last couple of games of why Daryl Mitchell doesn't bat higher up the order. Got the ability to play all around the ground, manage situations, but this is the reason. The left and right hand. Chapman is able to then be ultra aggressive against Dawson. You'd expect Phillips to be more the aggressor against a finger spin of Jacks.
It's your worst nightmare. A short boundary one side and a left-hand, right-hand combination. This will be a good test. I thought Santner was brilliant with not only his skills with bat and ball, but his captaincy the other night. And this will be a test for Harry Brook's captaincy. Pretty new to the job, but as shorter boundaries you can see there, 63, 75, but also left-hand, right-hand.
Yeah, that Santner-McConkey combination the other evening when New Zealand were 86 for 6 in a real hole. They took 2 or 3 overs just to reset, and then the last 4 overs they took 70. It was a brilliant partnership. Got New Zealand up to a score that in the end was more than enough.
And this is another brilliant partnership so far. I know it's only 23 from 14, but often on slow surfaces like this, you just pray that you get a wicket at times, because you can squeeze a new batter. You can make it so difficult for a player walking to the crease to get off strike to then build the partnership. But Mark Chapman's played a brilliant role so far. Phillips was ultra aggressive at the start. Now Chapman has raced to 14 off 7. It'll be wide. And that just takes the pressure off Glenn Phillips as well, because he doesn't stand at the other end going, there's only scoring coming from my end. I have to overhit the ball. Now, if you do lose a wicket, you can start to soak up a bit more pressure.
depth of batting is proving to be so important in this tournament, isn't it? Watch West Indies trying to set off like a train the other night, which they could do because they got Romario Shepherd in at 9. Look at these two teams, South Africa, India, batting down the order. All-rounders are so important.
But you still have to have a good bowling attack as well. And I think what the conditions here have done is it gives teams a lot more flexibility with some part-time options. So potentially you can have 8 batters and get away with 3 part-time bowlers being able to fill the quota of overs. So you get onto really good wickets, nice flat batting wickets. It makes it a little bit more challenging in that regard.
14 overs done. New Zealand going along handily. 123 for 3 drinks.
Seifert and Allen at the top. Been a prolific opening combination. They took some time to get going tonight, but once they lined them up, they got their side off to a flyer. They put on 64 for the first wicket. Vinta just couldn't quite get going. Seifert, big one off Adil Rashid, stumped later in the over, and then Finn Allen. That's a gift at that stage of the game. Will Jacks into his first over, but Glenn Phillips has batted beautifully since he come to the crease. Hasn't tried to overhit the ball. He was a dismissal of Rachin Ravindra. A good catch in the deep by Jacob Bethel. Anything over pitch, they've been brutal.
Phase, wicket for England in that power play. Even with the 3 wickets, New Zealand have kept their run rate up well. Aaron Finch mentioned it, anything up has disappeared. If you look at the strike rates, you bowl up in the slot, 425 the strike rate, and it's something that England and both sides will have to debate as you go through the phase of death bowling. And you see there, the shorter you bowl, the strike rate drops down, even for the spinner. And as you get towards death bowling, it's something captains will have to decide on this surface, whether they try to go Yorkers or use the pitch and bowl it a little bit shorter.
Okay, let's go back in time to 2021 and a magic moment. Helps it away over the leg side, and what a way that is to bring up your first international T20 100. Would dearly love Joss Butler to find some of that form tonight. 101 in that game at Sharjah 5 years ago. Adil Rashid now to bowl the 15th. He's bowled it beautifully, hasn't he? He is such a good bowler. Bowls it slow, invitingly slow, but there's very few get a handle on him.
No, and drinks again. The value of drinks and just stopping an innings in its flow. That partnership was building nicely. We were talking about how well they were playing, almost risk-free cricket. You bowl your best bowler after the break and he'll get you a wicket, completely bamboozling Chapman. Chapman probably thought he was going to bowl a lot of wrong-uns to him, being the left-hander. It was the leg break. Chapman played nicely for 15, 123 for 4.
Well, he's such a central part of this England team and has been for, well, more than a decade now. Adil Rashid, who's right there at the start of England's white ball revolution under Owen Morgan. He is still just as important to this team, and more so in conditions like this. So a second wicket stumped this evening, and now Daryl Mitchell joins Glenn Phillips. So two right-handers now. England have managed to cut apart that left-right combination.
Watch for the wrong and first up here. So often a leg spinner will bring the slip into play and then try and slip a googly through first one. He's deceived there, Mark Chapman. Like you said, run down expecting a wrong and didn't pick it, didn't get anywhere near it. As simple as they come for Joss Butler.
He was looking to sweep there, and that one might have just been pushed out of the front of the hand. Nobody in this tournament has bowled more slowly than Adil Rashid. It takes a lot of courage to do that as well. He got whacked for an enormous 6 in the first over that he bowled. Still has the courage to float it up there, even when the batsmen do occasionally collar him. Phillips is definitely picking him though. He plonked to Googly for 6 earlier on. He reads him out of the hand and tries to stay back to Rashid, unlike the two that were beaten tonight, looking to charge and beaten in the flight and stumped. Phillips does it differently. He looks to hang back and play it off the pitch like that. Yep, just ahead of Graham Creamer there for the slowest spinner on show in this tournament. Oh! There's the googly. Mitchell picked it but couldn't connect. Wonderful over from Adil Rashid. 125 for 4.
Two wickets. ICC Men's T20 World Cups for Adil Rashid. Borrowed Jofra Archer's chain, that bloke. Might be a bit bigger. First ball for Rayan Ahmed. Oh, excellent work from Jofra Archer. Won't save any more than 1. They've got a good hand to it. Good evening to Ian Smith, Owen Morgan.
Evening, Dooley, Smithy, evening, everyone. Good piece of work this from Jofra Archer. Tall fella, moves well in general. Doesn't normally find himself at backward point though for the leg spinners. Can be a key position as a run stopper.
Fascinating time for this game in terms of the balance. What do New Zealand think is enough? 167, 168 the other night was plenty. But what do they think tonight against a more powerful batting lineup on a surface played okay without being brilliant tonight? It's held together quite nicely. What do they think it will be like in the fourth innings of its use, to be fair?
Follow a similar plan with the ball to what they did the other night. New Zealand from a spin point of view in particular.
Problem for Daryl Mitchell is he's just struggling to time it at the moment, and you can see that from his reaction, but he's in such great form. He's been in India and Sri Lanka now for around 7 weeks, and he hardly put a foot wrong with the bat for the first 5 or 6 weeks. Problem is he's batting so far down this order, he's getting limited opportunities, and it's almost like he's out of form all of a sudden. 132 for 4.
Both know Daryl Mitchell pretty well, Smithy. Point of view, he's team first. He will do whatever is required for his New Zealand side. Probably not where he would prefer to be, but he will do it and he'll take it on. Finished off a couple of those games against India in the recent series very well, batting at number 6. So probably an indication that starting on this surface against quality spin is not going to be easy, so that's something New Zealand will take forward. 5 of 14.
What they get from their last 4, over 70 the other night. If they got 50 here, they'd be happy with that. 70 would be, against this attack, I think, asking too much.
Somewhere in the middle. I think they'd be pretty happy. 170 and above. Very happy with that sort of total. Lovely, lovely bowling.
Yeah, clever use of the line from Liam Dawson. Sense as if Daryl Mitchell being ahead of himself at the moment, not playing the ball on merit, perhaps being preoccupied with certain shots, just not quite found the middle of the bat, as we have seen from him in recent times.
Hasn't found it again, and straight to Will Jacks, who holds on at long off. Dawson gets one.
Yeah, brilliant from Liam Dawson. Start to the over. Phillips off strike, then tying Daryl Mitchell down. Couple of dots. Touch Fuller looking to go through and under the bat. Mitchell searching for that middle. Doesn't get anywhere near the boundary. Jacks. It's an easy catch coming in. Good again from Dawson. New Zealand lose their 5th. It's Mitchell with 3. 33 for 5.
Mitchell Santner, New Zealand skipper, out in the middle. Nowhere near as early as he was out the other day against Sri Lanka. .47 in that match. That partnership with Cole McConkey crucial to New Zealand's victory against Sri Lanka. .84 that partnership there to weather the storm early. It was 5 off 11 at one stage, Mitchell Santner. What to do now for New Zealand to post somewhere around that 170 mark.
Underway, Mitchell Santner down towards the mid-off. They won't get the second. Daryl Mitchell, I'm not sure what he's like in the dressing room, but he might be seething because he's just lost all of his beautiful timing and stroke play that we've seen in the last 5 or 6 weeks in this part of the world. He has just been nailing everything and playing the game to his own tune. But not now, it's just disappeared from him.
Phillips will keep the strike. 17 have been bowled, 135 for 5. Almost done for the Super 8 stages. This tournament, Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Kandy tomorrow. And Zimbabwe, South Africa, India, West Indies. 3 PM and 7 PM on the 1st of March. Significance left depending on what happens this evening. It's a Sri Lanka-Pakistan match maybe. Pakistan fans hoping that England can chase down whatever New Zealand set tonight, and then they'll need a big win over Sri Lanka. South Africa looking to go 3 from 3 in the Super 8. Bowled him. Lovely flight. Deception from Jacks. Phillips now gone.
Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant plan, brilliant execution. The in-batter Phillips as well. Great timing this from England. Beautiful out of the hand. Lands on the seam, turns. It's a lovely delivery. They can cover position. Phillips trying to access it. Straight through the gate. England have 6. New Zealand 35 for 6.
McConkey now out in the middle with his captain. Back-to-back wickets again for England.
Well, for Glenn Phillips, this is caught in no man's land, really. He wanted to hit the ball initially over the offside, and then when he saw it where it was, he tried to fetch it onside. And see his hand action straight away. I was trying to hit that straighter, and in the end I started to hit round it and got myself into a deep, deep hole, but I needed to hit it offside. That's where I was looking initially.
And the last 2 or 3 overs from England, they've just got to squeeze on things. It's been a boundary for 26 deliveries, but it's felt as if there's been no momentum for New Zealand. You can pick up is the boundary, the much needed one for New Zealand. Makes the run break a little bit of momentum. It's to start somewhere in such a crucial period of this game. Sweep and well placed.
An indication of the turn on offer. Talked about it a lot. The slower you bowl, the more it turns. And the Sri Lankans talk a lot about at this venue. Get it wider, get it slower. You will get that purchase. For the batters to make momentum, that leeway.
Can they do it again, these two? Can they finish off for New Zealand in this last 2.1 overs and pick up maybe 30 runs? That would be invaluable, over 170. Probably what they set their minds on when they won the toss and batted first. It looked at one stage they could probably get to 180, 190. They were cruising and they've just fallen apart. Question is, what will Harry Brook do in terms of his bowlers? He's got Archer up his sleeve, he's got Curran up his sleeve, he's got spin.
Bowl a couple of overs of spin if he likes. 18 gone, 142 for 6.
Well, wickets for Will Jacks. He's been an integral part of this England team throughout the group stage and since. It's a bit of a gift. This day's work. This is a beauty. Phillips just looking to access down the ground, got dragged in. Good bowling from Jacks, good control from the finger spinner.
Those are the options. Back to Archer. It was Shmantha Chamira who these two took down with pace on at the back end of the innings against Sri Lanka. Rashid with his last 2 for 23 for him. Wrongen. Decent crowd, decent amount of support for both sides. Yeah, Primadasa tonight. Lower tier left of the big scoreboard, relatively full. Crowds for the fixtures that haven't included the host nations. That over top should be a couple. Too wide. 84 or 47 against Sri Lanka. This combination.
Oh!
76.3k that. It just never got there. He was through the shot so early. And this was from two players who were struggling here who made it look so easy the other night. How much slower has this pitch got?
Put some chalk on it.
Here, I think the sweep is a good option. See, with the pace in which Rashid bowls with and the lack of pace off the surface makes scoring difficult.
Comes that well, but it didn't work out in the deep. Phil Salt.
the side of the ground today. Your best fielder out there, covering a lot of ground. He's dropped his towel.
The towel be more for Sweck. I haven't seen much evidence of dew. Didn't see any the other night either. So that won't be an issue. It's often a reason captains want to bat last is because of the dew, but not here, not this close to the coast, you would imagine.
There's conversation there between Santner and McConkey. I just wonder whether that was about keeping Santner on strike. 2, 4, 6 are out here. Or maybe a dot. 19 done, 147 for 6.
Well, another beauty to finish his work with the ball for the day. 2 for 28. This was Tim Seifert earlier. Just his ability to go up and above the eye line, getting revolutions on it, is as good as anybody's.
Thought this might be the case. Won't see Jofra Archer at all. You'll go with Rehan Ahmed. Look to bowl quick, bowl wrong ends, take the ball across the left-hander and keep the length away.
It is a risk because if he doesn't get it right, and he hasn't played a lot of cricket, because he's bowling to a left-hander who's striking it quite nicely, there is a risk factor involved here, but there's also an opportunity for him to turn the ball away from Santner if possible. Like that, which makes it hard to access the short side. England are going to bowl a maximum of 16 overs of spin, but when you consider the slower balls that Curran bowled in his 1 over, the slower balls that Archer bowled, I mean, there's just no pace in this game at all.
It's a good start from Rehan Ahmed. That's exactly what his captain has asked for. Quite quick, a little shorter and wide of off stump. Just the one, it's not. It just skipped off the surface. Tom Banton has let it slip through the hands.
Brilliant. Amongst the Googling. Is it on the full, does McConkey? This just skips on and surprises Banton. First straight through his hands. Much needed boundary for New Zealand.
Bowled him. Got the line right, a little bit of leg spin from Rehan Ahmed. He's got a couple now.
Controlled his length in this over. First and third delivery, this one right on point. Not getting close enough to the ball. England, they have during this phase of the game, have taken another wicket. It's McConkey for 14, 152 for 7.
Matt Henry preferred to Ish Sodhi, just got a little more power perhaps. Banton again, safely this time.
Yeah, good length, plenty of revolutions on the ball as well. Revolutions in your favour, you've got to use the surface.
So New Zealand used 17 overs of spin against Sri Lanka. It's the first time England have ever bowled 16 overs of spin. T20 international. Missions based, and they've done a good job. Santner's options here. Can he just hold his shape a little bit and look to go over extra cover? No, just obsessed with the short side. Run chase. Just Butler be able to find some form. Gets that one. He gets that one to Santner. Finishes the innings with a maximum. It'll be exactly 160 required by England. Rayan Ahmed not happy with his final delivery, but they've done a pretty good job, the England bowling lineup.
Well, he doesn't often show much emotion, Mitch Santner. That's one of his great strengths, but he's fuming. He slammed the bat into the ground afterwards, thinking, why didn't I try that a little bit earlier? Because to hit straight might have been a better option. But Mitchell Santner, when he played the shot and started to walk off, and he never walks very quickly, Mitch Santner, he looked very frustrated with the whole deal. He looked really frustrated. I don't know if he knows whether this is enough, but 160 in the end is pretty handy.
Well, England will be reasonably happy with their work. Around about a par score to chase down. Their skipper in fine form, coming off the back of that magnificent century. Tala Kelly against Pakistan. Day for Rashid. To get Rayan Ahmed into this tournament. Spinners have dominated. 7 wickets between Dawson, Rashid, Jacks, Ahmed. Was some up the conditions with Remadas and Colombo.
New Zealand winning the toss. Santner had no hesitation, trying to put a total on the board. Less than what they produced against Sri Lanka the other night. Lowest total in the tournament so far for New Zealand, but they know the conditions. They know how well they bowled against the less informed batting group in Sri Lanka the other night. Bigger test here against the England lineup. Started so well, 64 for the opening partnership, but then they lost back-to-back wickets at 64 and 66. Again at 122, 133 and 135. So just unable to build real partnerships post that. Phillips, chief contributor, with 39. There is that partnership. Just a few middling ones for the third, fourth wicket. So nothing of great substance, which would indicate that getting started is not easy.
Well, the big impact for England were the spinners. 1 for Dawson, 2 each for Rashid, Jacks and Rayan Ahmed. Rarely do you see Archer not completing his quota. Only 3 for today.
Good performances on that board. 159 for 7 in the end. Let's go sideline to Laura McGoldrick.
Rayan Ahmed 2 for 28, your first time out in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. A wicket on your first ball. This is easy.
No, not quite. I wish it was that easy. I didn't quite get my length right on the first ball, but thankfully Rachin didn't hit it as well as he should have. But yeah, no, it was a great opportunity for me.
Yeah, tell us what it was like to be out there with your team today.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Obviously, World Cup, there's a bit more pressure on it without realising. But yeah, everyone made it very, very easy out there. And after the first ball, it felt like home. So yeah, it was good.
The conditions, tell us a bit about the pitch tonight, how it played.
It's breaking up. So 160 is about par. Obviously, I think we did very well to get him back from 130 for 4, I think. So yeah, no, hopefully we chase it down.
How do you think you'll approach chasing that down?
Well, everyone's has different approaches. I'm sure we'll try and hit sixes when it's there to hit for 6, and if it's not, then we just play as it is.
Was it what you thought it would be like going out there today in your first World Cup?
Sorry?
Is it what you thought it would be like going out there today in your first World Cup?
Yeah, very similar. It was similar to the training wickets we played on. So, and I played some one days here before the World Cup. So yeah, it was very, very similar.
Well, congratulations and best of luck for the second innings.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Rayan Ahmed. 2 for 28 for him off 3, and that is what is in front of England. 160 required at exactly 8 runs per over.
This is our year.
The eyes of the cricket world are on Colombo tonight. England's finest up against New Zealand's finest. Beautifully timed by Finn Allen. That sounded good, even better.
He's out and is walking off. 2 down.
Ryan Ahmed, and he starts with a wicket. Would you believe it? He's bowled it beautifully, hasn't he?
Bowled it. Lovely flight.
It's great to be connected on a plane, but not all the time.
Welcome back to Colombo, and the Premadasa Stadium is host to the 49th match of the Men's T20 World Cup. It's New Zealand against England. Pretty even Stevens after the first 20 overs. The pitch has played pretty much as everyone expected. 160 New Zealand put on the board, having won the toss and batted. It is Super 8 Group 2. Against New Zealand. England already through to the semi-finals. New Zealand looking to win and qualify with England through to the semi-final from this group. Got off to a flyer after a good couple of overs from Jofra Archer. He was expensive in his third. The openers got going, and then it was trialled by spin. Wickets fell to spin as well. As ever, that man Adil Rashid flighting it, using a lot of turn, slow pitch, a used pitch New Zealand played on a couple of nights ago against Sri Lanka. And playing the extra spin option in Ryan Ahmed, and he was very useful. Didn't go back to seam at all. It was all spin. Will Jacks continued a fabulous tournament for him with bat and ball. Archer wicketless, one for Dawson, who bowled in the power play, 2 overs in the power play, 2 out of the power play. Rashid excellent as ever, 2 for 28, and 2 for Rayan Ahmed in his first T20 World Cup match. Well, why do we think 160 is around about par here? Because 2 nights ago on this very surface, 168 was plenty against Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka batted their 20 overs and got 107. Simon Doull. England play spin a bit better than Sri Lanka did that night, or they'll want to. What do you think of this surface compared to that? Exactly the same?
It does appear to be just the same. We've seen the ball turn. We've seen the slower you bowl, the more it's turned. Reference to some of Adil Rashid's deliveries were really slow in the low 70s. And what New Zealand did so well in that game was they just stuck to the plan. They bowled wide of off stump from both ends, used the extremities, the bigger side of the ground. After Matt Henry knocked over Pathum Nissanka, things just fell New Zealand's way for the most part. But it's dry, it's slow, it's not easy to come in and get started on. New ball will be key, Smithy.
I think that's the exact point you make there, Simon. Not one player who came out, once a partnership was broken, not one player came out and found timing. That is the hard part from where England are concerned. They need to use the power play overs and the hardness of the ball, and if any pace New Zealand dish up, they have to cash in on that because it's very hard, and England have not played on a surface like this for quite some time. So it's going to be interesting, really interesting. 159 for 7 could be challenging.
So we're in the business end of this tournament. It's been a wonderful World Cup. So many different venues and different pitches. The associates did brilliant in the first phase of this tournament. Now we're down to who will qualify. Pakistan will be desperate for England to win, and win well here this evening. Then they've got a chance against Sri Lanka tomorrow night in Pallekele. And then South Africa will hope to beat Zimbabwe, top that group. This is the group we're in here, interested in Colombo. England qualified. New Zealand would love a Q next to their name in around about hour and a half if they beat England. That will rule Pakistan out. And the big game in that group, obviously South Africa, if they beat Zimbabwe, will top it. But the big game comes Sunday night. West Indies against India. Pretty much a quarter-final, that one. You would think Harry Brook would stay at number 3 after that explosive innings at number 3 in Pallekele against Pakistan. England will hope that their best ever white ball batter will find form before the knockout phase. He has had a very quiet tournament. A couple of dismissals where he's chipped it up in the air to mid-off. He is a bit of a worrier for such a good player. He can get a bit down on himself. A few boundaries, a couple in the middle, and he can put that to bed.
No one will know from an England point of view the pace of this pitch better than Josh Buttler, because he's been standing up to the stumps and noticing it the whole time. So whilst he was keeping, he might have been formulating a bit of a batting plan as well, particularly to the spinners. We'll wait and see. But what New Zealand will do is they'll start with Matt Henry and hope that he can pick up an early wicket with a miracle delivery, as he did the other night. He got rid of Sri Lanka's best player. And then you'll see the spin come into it as quickly as you like, probably well within the power play. And Mitch Santner will take the air out of the ball if he possibly can.
Yeah, it's not a pitch you want to be out of nick on. And also, Matt Henry is not a bowler you want to face when you're out of nick. He is a wonderfully talented bowler, Matt Henry. Santner, excellent. So this is a real test for England on a pitch that will grip and is dying against a New Zealand side with plenty of skills, brilliant in the field. They will want Buttler and Salt to get off to a flyer.
Matt Henry's ability to shape the ball a little bit, not a huge amount, away from the right-handers, it brings that nip backer that he bowls so well right into play. You're worried about both edges of the bat.
Well, there was some seam movement for Archer with the new ball. Off this dry, cracked surface, he got that seam just to grip. And that is what Matt Henry does. He has the shape away, but he has that nip backer. Phil Salt likes to get off to a flyer himself. He goes from the very first ball. Set up perfectly here at the Premadasa. There is that nip backer going down the leg side.
And no problem there, but there was problems for Nasanka the other night when he lined up and Sri Lanka were chasing him what they thought was a fairly meagre total. He copped one of these first up, and that's what Henry's in this attack for right here and now. That. We saw it from Archer. If he can get one of those to the top order, or even one of these at some stage when he bowls the off cutter, he'll be in business. He won't bowl many overs tonight. These are crucial.
That's the other one that just holds a bit of shape away. They will hurry back for 2.
And that's the one that makes the nip backer dangerous, because you're looking for that. Not a huge amount of swing, but it's just enough. Seam position just moves away, or even holds its line when you're expecting it maybe to come back a touch.
He's missed that by a long way. That is shape, definitely. And Salt was trying to hit it leg side. It went past the outside edge.
Well, he's gone attacking with a slip. Doesn't have to have one, but he has. And it's Phil Allen in place at probably about a slip and a half for that delivery that leaves the right-hander, and he gets a genuine outside edge.
Oh, he's making it talk, and that is a Jaffa. Matt Henry always with the new ball. You can rely on him. He is quite brilliant. And Salt again falls cheaply.
Well, it's great shape. And he's asked questions almost every delivery in the first 4, Matt Henry. And this again has just held its line away a touch maybe. Salt looking to drive on the up. Seifert makes no mistake. Strikes early again, does Matt Henry. 2 for 1 England as Salt goes for 2.
Harry Brook, the England captain, comes in on the back of one of the great World Cup innings we have seen up in Pallekele against Pakistan. A side he loves batting against, 100 in just 51 deliveries. That was a different surface from this one. Plenty say this is his position, where he should have batted throughout the tournament. Brendan McCullum said to him in the morning of the game, go up to 3. That's where he stays.
Well, he's on a plane home in about 4 hours, Matt Henry. He'll be checking in at the end of this game to fly home for the birth of his second child. He's going to make a statement before he goes, it seems.
First ball nipped back to Phil Salt, and then after that he got it to shape away. And Salt, as ever, hitting on the up, got a faint one. Perfect length, perfect movement. It's what Henry does. down the pitch. Misses leg stump. Brilliant first over from Matt Henry. 2 for 1 England. Archer started with a maiden for England. Henry starts with a wicket and just 2 runs. England with just the 1 change. Overton out, Rayan Ahmed in at 9. A lot of batting there still for England. All eyes will be on that man Butler. He's gone 4 innings in this competition without a boundary. Ferguson can be expensive, but he is also a genuine wicket taker. Butler would just love a freebie somewhere. I repeat, no boundary in 4 innings for Butler.
Little things too that get to you. You talked about him being maybe a little bit of a worrier. And the little things get into your mind, into your head. Didn't start badly, 26-21, but by his lofty standards, that is a pretty average tournament for Jos Buttler.
Oh, now is that a Jaffer? It is. Butler goes for a duck. What a beaut of a delivery. Bounce movement.
I thought I was about to say, well, he hasn't got a duck yet. And now he has, because he's followed one, and this is just pace from Rocky Ferguson. It is 142.4. The misery continues for one of the game's very best, and it can happen. It really can. It did nothing much off the seam, but he's in that kind of form, or lack of, that he goes looking for it. He actually started to come down the pitch towards Ferguson. Ferguson outthought him, and England all of a sudden are 2 for 2.
England in trouble. 2 for 2 in the second over. Jacob Bethel comes in early, was at 3 at the start of the tournament. So England have a left-hand, right-hand combination. Butler has just had such a poor run. Tried to get down the pitch, trying to get to it before it moved. Excellent from Lockie Ferguson. Just saw him coming, dragged the length back. Butler followed it. Cypher did the rest.
New Zealand will look at these 2 wickets and say bonus wickets, but getting wickets with a new ball when you feel like spin is going to be the more difficult part of the game, so you're putting the middle order under pressure already without what you see as maybe your trump cards. Both seamers picking up an early one.
down the pitch. Harry Brook will not sit in. He's asked his team to stay positive and attacking whatever the situation.
Well, stand by your bed, because this is the way England are going to play. This could be spectacular or very quick, one way or the other. And Sodhi's done particularly well there, because the last thing Ferguson wants is an inside edge like that going down the boundary for 4. And on this surface, it can race away very quickly. So he saves 3 there, each Sodhi.
Yeah, not sure if he landed on the white disc, Sodhi, but he's got a bit of blood on that right arm of his now. He's just asking for some tape or something. Just there. So he's moving towards Fergie, just trying to access the ball. When you're out of form, it's the sort of thing you do, but great angle, great view. Snap catch from Tim Seifert.
Oh, inside edge. And that is gone away to the boundary. Bethel will take it. England will take it. 8 for 2.
Running repairs for Ish Sodhi, and a huge smile from Jacob Bethel there. That race past his inside edge, just got a little bit of it, and as he went down to Harry Brook, he had a beaming smile on his face to say, wow, did I get away with that? That absolutely flew. Whack ass.
Perfect start for New Zealand and their opening bowlers. Just gonna try and scoop. That will be a wide.
Worked up some pace in that previous over, did Lockie Ferguson. 47 kilometres per hour. Just where look where Bethel's bat is. It's still on the way down, so just beat him a little bit for pace. Back on the inside. Raced away for 4. Generally a really calm, composed player against pace as well, Bethel.
Brilliant, set the tone in the first over. First ball nipped back in, and then his variations where it just holds and goes away from the right-hander. Doesn't have to change it, just bowl length, slightly fuller one, and then he saw Harry Brook charging. Could have easily gone into leg stump. Another scoop, and he's fallen over. Not quite Rishabh Pant-like.
Laugh about it now. I think it's got him fair in the stomach, this, has it? Yeah. He may have suspected it and gone a little wider.
That's about 6 times today batters at the top of the order have tried that shot. It may just be tricky on this pitch. None have nailed it over fine leg. Brook keeps trying it. Oh, and that's why. What a beauty that is. Such a high-class bowler, Matt Henry.
Not sure many are hitting this. A little bit of bounce as well. You see Harry Brook's reaction. Nipped away and bounced. Saw a little bit of this from Archer, didn't we, early on? Does conundrum will be at the end of this over. Does Mitchell Santner go with 3 and then say, jump off the park, we'll use spin from here, go and get your plane?
Oh, run out chance.
Oh.
Mitchell at mid-wicket. There was confusion between Brook and Bethel. They're having a chat now, but nervous times for England. This time he does get it. Charges and slaps it over cover point. It's one of his favourite shots off the seamer.
I think it's a better bet too than trying to lap it over fine leg. A lot safer on body and soul as well, but this is what he's been hoping for. He makes his own width by charging down outside leg stump. And he's been pretty good touch, as we saw the other night in Pallacali. He was outstanding. He created, it wasn't that bad a delivery in a normal stance, but by going outside leg stump, he created his own width. And that's the art of batsmanship, really. Very fine to do that and control it.
Gives himself room again, scoops it, and scoops it all the way. A remarkable shot into the screen, all the way for 6. Breaks the screen. What a talent Harry Brook is. It's 19 for 2.
Shot of the tournament. Top contender. It's phenomenal. It's full, it's just a little flick of the wrist. Yeah, short side, but it's a serious cricket shot. It's a dent in the screen. Henry went searching for the pads and the stumps.
Screen broken, 3/4 of the way up, right in the middle of it. Punch down the ground, not a lot wrong with the delivery, just Bethel trying to put pressure on the bowler.
Now the nick off Lockie Ferguson and the big over off Matt Henry all of a sudden has given England some freedom at the top of the order and some momentum in this power play. Nothing wrong with that shot either, to be perfectly honest. Considering he was at 6s and 7s in the last over with Ferguson's pace, to get a half forward and drill it down the ground past the despairing bowler. Banton will have some interesting thoughts going through his head, looking side on, what the heck's going on out there. But this all of a sudden becomes crucial for New Zealand because England have found momentum. It doesn't take much.
14 from the last 3 deliveries. Shovel, the fielding is good out there, just keeping it to a single. Chapman in the deep. Well, he went one way, the bowler followed him, and then he just scooped it. And it's amazing how far he can hit it with just a flick of the wrist. Watch this flick at the end, and that's where he gets his power from. I guess it's the one advantage of England having qualified. If they lost to Pakistan and this was effectively a knockout game for them, this would be very nervy. But they're through to semi-finals. Enjoy the chase.
It's a great point. Just play with freedom. Nothing to worry about. No team wants to be losing games. You understand that. Got an element of freedom to play with.
Oh, is that the pad? Is it the pad? And was it in line? May have got outside the line. He was so far across.
Yeah, Tim Seifert's early indication was outside the line. You saw him gesture to Ferguson. Good slow delivery. I think it's the leg roller, the one that rolls the fingers down the left-hand side of the ball.
I really think he doesn't need to play this shot at the moment. There's it's too hard to play on the surface, but he found a way off Henry in the last over by not playing the ball behind. I mean, he's got the ability to hit it anywhere. Now that's the shot. That's his area. And what New Zealand have got to adjust to here, and they won't bowl speed for much longer, is the fact that he's inviting them to the stumps. That's the problem. He's going that far. He's saying to them, there they are. You hit them if you want. If you don't get them, I'll get it beforehand, and you won't be able to stop it. And he's done it on 3 occasions now. He's shown New Zealand the woodwork, and they have said, I'll have a piece of that. And he said, no, I'll have a piece of you.
Good comeback, followed him, bowled the Yorker, good right boot as well from Loggie Ferguson. It's 24-28 for 2.
Eyes as well, just keeps that head down beautifully. Watching the ball. Middle of the bat. It's raced across the surface.
The openers have gone again. Concern for England leading up to knockout cricket. Plenty of batting. Rook, their captain, in great form. Next challenge for England. Trial by spin. Mitch Santner into the attack.
Boy, that came off the bat quick, because it was about as quick as you'll see Mitchell Santner bowl in the spell. To be perfectly honest, he won't be darting it in. He'll be floating it and floating it, and he'll get slower and slower.
That's the one, exactly as Ian Smith said. Running has to be good.
Yeah, Bethel always wanted it. Brooke did respond well. Mitchell quick enough. As soon as it went past Santner, Bethel was already quite a long way down. Might have just been okay.
This is the battle for me. Santner against Brooke. Brooke sometimes can go early against spin when he goes down the pitch. He gives you a little signal, and Santner is brilliant at picking up signals. He bowls it slower, he bowls it wider. This is the battle.
Oh!
Brooke played spin brilliantly in Pallekele against Pakistan, using his feet, then staying back deep in the crease as well. Has always been a good puller, actually, of spin bowling. Picks up length really quick. That shot is his shot. Pick up length and hit over mid-on and mid-wicket.
Oh! Santner boy.
Best ball he bowled, Mitchell Santner, and speeds are the key here, and we'll keep emphasising it because it's so hard to hit the slower you bowl. The first ball he bowled was 89k. Dropped the second one back to 77, so you're looking at a 12k difference in between deliveries. That one, 88.9. It didn't seem that way through the air.
Look at that variation, up and down, going through the gears, and no signal as well. There's no sign when you're facing up to him that he's going to change the pace. He has the same arm speed for everything. And that is nailed. Excellent from Bethel to end the over. Reverse sweep. We've got a contest on here. It's 34 for 2 after 5.
tremendous game in prospect. England 34 for 2, chasing 160. Both openers dismissed early again. Harry Brook has played a couple of extraordinary shots, and Jacob Bethel finished the previous over with a hard-hit reverse sweep. Trial by spin from here on in, and that's a good test for Bethel, who struggled a little more against spin in this competition than against pace. McConkey then instead of Michael Bracewell for this competition, after Bracewell left with that calf injury. Did the job with the bat in the previous game, got it to do now with the ball. Have to hurry and gets home. There are twos to be had. England, remember, hit 14 twos against Pakistan up in Palakelly, and they'll be eyeing that long boundary for some more.
Yeah, you have to adapt your game to different venues. Huge leg side boundary, plenty of twos on offer. And there's Dewey Neesham out there at deep backward square, the sub fielder. He's still so deep.
Great stuff here, Coley boy.
Honky would love to be bowling to the left-handed Bethel through this phase.
Fitness.
Now, excellent bit of fielding from Matt Henry.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite carried. It's hit hard and flat from Brook. Forward diving. I think he's just got it on the half volley. Brook does well to catch it up. Yeah, good hands.
Brook, brilliant. He has been brilliant so far in this innings, full of innovation and power, giving himself room outside the leg stump to access the offside.
Such high skill. Right armour around the wicket, looking to slide it across Harry Brook on this occasion. But he's hit that from outside leg stump, off the back foot over cover. Unbelievable batting.
Just the one this time, but he loves that arc between wide mid-off, straight extra cover. Brilliant player, pace and spin through that particular part of the ground, and he's climbing up that list. Move to number 3 suits him. Bethel finds the gap this time. So England starting to motor now towards the end of the power play. They end the power play 47 for 2.
Things look good again as Harry Brook to be aggressive regardless of what the surface is, just trying to impose himself on New Zealand. Different test, however, for the young Jacob Bethel. Started in good touch as well, 18 off 11. Ship swiftly by 29. 2 early wickets to go. Bill Salt then short on runs, short on luck. Ross Butler just makes some of these shots, although difficulty level is at an all-time high. He makes them look so easy.
I'm sure we've got a package somewhere of shots of the tournament, but that shot from Harry Brook into the side screen will be up. I reckon 100 Sanju Samson last night as well, second ball. Straight back over the bowler's head for 6. That would be up there. In a tournament like this, there's so many extraordinary shots to sit back and just admire. So the decision made. I was interested with Harry Brook's comments after that game in Palakelly when he said, yeah, the coach told me I'd be moving up to number 3. I can think of a few captains of the past that might have not been so passive in such a major decision, but it's certainly a decision that is working for England at the moment.
That's just so much skill. That's a big hit too. Yes, it's the short side. Just the ability to read what the bowler's going with. And also having the talent with your hands to be able to then pick it up, find the middle of the bat. Like you said, Morgs, his ability to make some incredibly difficult shots look effortless is extraordinary. Not many players in the world have that level of skill.
Well, this is where we are, 47 for 2. New Zealand were 54 for none after the power play, but lost their openers very soon afterwards, whereas Bethel and Brook have just started to get their partnership going. I feel this is going to be a key contest. Mitchell Santner, who can bowl it slow, and that's the way to go on this surface against England's best player, Harry Brook, and most dangerous player.
Oh, yeah, boy, yeah, boy. Lovely lad.
To have in-batters through this stage is so important. We saw right throughout the New Zealand innings that most times new batters to the crease find it difficult to get off strike, difficult to find boundaries. It's so important that one of these two bats deep.
Oh!
Well, that there is the pace. Optimum pace, you would say. Just 78 kilometres per hour. Batting strike rate against spin tonight. Above 85 kilometres. Jumps to 145. Up from 102 to those slower deliveries.
And Santner, a master at varying his pace. He's such a brilliant, deceptive bowler with that one that just hangs in the air. Rashid is England's equivalent.
This is a great example of why, when the pitch is slow and turning, slower you bowl, the more turn you'll get. But also, the more as a batter you feel as though you have to make all the pace.
Oh, yes, set, yes, set. Oh, set.
Excellent from Santner. Across in front of Bethel off his own bowling. Might be calling for a new shirt.
Well, so far in this partnership, these two have been brilliant, rotating the strike, but fielding, you would imagine, is going to play an important part in building pressure and creating chances. So good from the Kiwi captain.
Oh, set. Lovely sets, lovely sets. Get in there, boy. Oh!
Sweeps off the stumps and gets it for a single to deep backward square. 50 up, 50 off 7 overs, 50 for 2. Jack's having a tremendous tournament with bat and ball, taking a couple of excellent catches out on the boundary edge as well. He's there for England's player of the tournament so far. 23 today and 4 excellent overs of off spin. So Santner's got to work out how to rotate his spinners through this middle phase. He's got plenty to choose from. Glenn Phillips, Rachin Ravindra, who bowled excellently on this surface a couple of nights ago. He showed his leg spin as well. Should be out. Oh yes, the change has worked. And you can see from the reaction there from Glenn Phillips and from the rest of the New Zealand fielders what that wicket means. It's not just any old wicket, it's Harry Brook.
Been in such good nick. Brilliant 100 last game. And he's been on fire tonight with some beautiful shots, but this time he tries to go up and over cover against the turn of Glenn Phillips. Just doesn't quite get it out of the middle of the bat. Errol Mitchell, beautiful set of hands. He doesn't make any mistakes. Glenn Phillips, he's pumped. Have a look at him go. The skipper, he goes for 26. England lose one at a key stage. It's 50 for 3.
Well, it was thrilling while it lasted, but that is such a huge moment in this game. A glum look when one assumes a couple of England fans in the stands. Tom Banton, who at the start of this tournament, first couple of games, didn't start well against spin. Games against Nepal and West Indies in Mumbai, struggled a little bit on pitches that held right at the start of his innings. Began to get into the tournament, played better in Kolkata, but those were pitches that skidded on a bit more.
GP, come on, boy.
Phillips round the wicket.
Oh, GP, lovely boy.
I'd be interested to see how Tom Banton plays this. Loves the reverse sweep. But here's the huge wicket. You can see Harry Brook, he's trying to access that short boundary over cover, just gets none of it.
Mentioned the delight, certainly you could see that on Phillips's face. Mitch Santner, actually, he looks as though he's just got a low heartbeat no matter what is happening in the game. He's not somebody who wears his heart on his sleeve. You can see there, you can see the reaction from Phillips. You just look at Santner, as cool as you like.
It's chalk and cheese, isn't it?
Come on, Mitch. It's Harry Brook. He's a cool cap, the Black Caps captain.
Oh. Yeah, I say I'd be interested to see how Tom Banton plays, because we've seen so often he loves the sweep, the reverse sweep, square of the wicket. He's also got power, but this is a different situation. New Zealand have got the reverse sweep covered. They've got a mid-wicket in place, so what they're trying to do here is build some dots on a new batter, create a false shot, build some pressure, get that run rate going up.
Well, that's a wonderful strike from Banton. It's not a 6, it's a 1 bounce 4. It's such a long boundary out there. That was sweetly timed.
Yeah, just a conventional sweep. Gets into a good position. So try and overhit it. It's more about the placement and the timing for Banton.
Push those deep fielders back a yard or two.
Oh, lovely, that's it, boy, lovely boy.
Successful over for Glenn Phillips, 56 for 3. Salt, Butler, Brook back in the shed. Bethel and Banton together in the middle, but they bat deep with Corrin and Jacks having successful tournaments. Dawson can bat Ray and Ahmed at 9, and even Archer and Rashid more than capable. Lots of the most successful, or the more successful sides in this tournament batting deep all the way. Well, we wondered what Mitch Santner would do. Well, Harry Brook was in there. That was the key battle. But now Brook has gone. Santner is saving himself for a couple and bringing Rachin Ravindra into the attack. Ravindra bowled brilliantly a couple of nights ago against Sri Lanka.
We saw last game the New Zealand spinners with the short boundary to the leg side to Tom Banton. Now they went wide and they went slow. They said if you're prepared to walk across your stumps and go against the turn when there is some bounce in the wicket, then good luck to you, because it's such a high risk shot. So this will be a fascinating contest to a guy who loves playing square of the wicket. Is this where he says, it's the time for my reverse? Morgs, you love the reverse. You're so good at it. Is this the time?
Yeah, here I think on this surface it certainly is, and Tom Banton plays it incredibly well. Did get out against Nepal playing it, and actually his introduction into this tournament to get away was against Scotland, where he actually took spin down the ground, because he is taller than most batters. You know, you would always say you reach, play straight for as long as you can and use that power down the ground. But Banton, because he has all bases covered, I think how he goes about it is more important.
I mentioned he was in tremendous form 2 nights ago on this ground with the ball. 4 for 27, best figures in T20 internationals for him. Bowling, as Aaron Finch said, slowly, quite wide of the off stump, and protect against that short side.
Gone, brilliant catch. That is a great catch. Phillips it is, coming in about 10 or 15 yards off the rope, and it was hit at pace, and he dived and went low, took an outstanding catch.
Well, high fives all round. This is an incredible piece of athleticism from Glenn Phillips. You know how quickly he can move across the ground. Ravindra just looking to bowl that back of a length. Bethel into a good position. Neither gets the elevation nor the control to keep it down. Let's have a look. Wow. Wow. That is incredible work. Brilliant. All round from New Zealand. England in trouble now, 4 down for 58. It's Bethel, he goes for 21.
Well, we've seen some outstanding catches from Glenn Phillips over the years, and it won't be one of those that you'll probably see photos of in the paper tomorrow. You often see him at backward point diving, taking one-handed catches about head height that play to the photographers. They won't get probably a brilliant image of this because he's diving low, but this is as good as any of the spectacular catches you've seen from him in the past. Hit hard by Bethel and low. He's coming in at pace as well. That is such a good catch. Another left-hander, Curran replacing Bethel, but England in a spot of trouble here. 58 for 4. And the strangle by spin, the trial by spin is on.
This is so hard to commit to this catch from Glenn Phillips. He's running at full acceleration and diving forward like that when you're not worried about your front teeth. If it doesn't quite get there, is quite incredible.
Catch it. Lovely Rachin, lovely Rachin.
Contrasting emotions, of course. It was an outstanding catch from Glenn Phillips. Such a brave catch. Bethel's reaction, he was not trying to hit that ball in the air, he kind of sliced it, and you could see how upset he was with himself. Well, Santner's got England where he wants them, 59 for 4 off 9.
Another thing to note here, the importance of this partnership. Sam Curran, the last left-hander in the order for England. So what that means is that Mitch Santner will be able to pick and choose whichever end he wants to bowl any of his spinners. At the moment, off-spin predominantly bowling from the end that Glenn Phillips is bowling. Santner and Rachin Ravindra, while there's a left-hander at the crease, they have to bowl from the other end. And it looks like you on the dance floor, Morgs. Yep, thumbs up. Keep going.
Never any doubt was the full commitment from Phillips here, and he knew straight away that was a clean catch. Fantastic. Got to be close from round the wicket, unless it's turning too much. I think New Zealand might be interested here.
The only question is, did it pitch in line? I think it is, yeah. Mitchell Santner agrees, or even thinks it might be worth a gamble.
We have a review for LBW. The on-field decision is not out. It's a fair delivery. Looking at the split screen now. Let's keep rolling. The ball is close to the bat. Need to confirm through Ultraedge. Yeah. Keep it rolling. Yeah. Roll further, roll further. Yeah, roll it back one more time, please. Now roll forward. One more frame. One more frame. Yeah, freeze it here. Yeah, freeze it here. Yeah, I can see there is a spike when ball next to the bat. There is no gap between bat and ball as well in the right-hand side. And stay with your original CN. Yeah, you're on screen, please signal.
It's a curious one, that, because there were a lot of little spikes there long before the ball got to the bat that continued as the ball reached the bat. Third umpire Asif Yaqub deciding that that was enough to suggest a bit of bat on ball. I wasn't so sure myself. I'm not sure others were quite that certain either. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158 159
Oh, ball boy, ball boy.
Yeah, I'd be curious to have a look and see if the ball tracking suggests it, because it looked really, really close. Turns possibly more than we think and would have missed anyway.
Yeah, that was my initial impression why I thought it wasn't out, because it had done too much.
Oh!
For 1 minute, think that Banton had hit the ball. It's good this from New Zealand though, they've got the squeeze on.
Oh! Yes, boy, yes, boy.
Oh, Phillips saw him coming, I think. That was much shorter, quicker, and rather stood up on Banton.
That's what makes it so hard to play, the inconsistencies. Some are turning big. We saw in the first half of the game some balls skid through. Trying to get off strike is so difficult. It's a good option, the sweep. He'll pick up a couple. End of 10. England 64 for 4.
New Zealand have the squeeze on. Worms are starting to separate. New Zealand are getting themselves in a position to go through to the semi-finals, because victory here at the Primadasa would see that happen. As much as England are under the pump, they bat deep. They're going to need to if they're going to chase this down. Still dancing in the crowd because Simon Doull and Nasser Hussain are alongside me. New Zealand favourites. Ravindra.
Just that experience of played here 2 days ago, that understanding the fact that you get a wicket, it is difficult to start. And we saw that through the New Zealand batting innings as well. Difficult for new players to come in and strike it around that 8, 9, 10 and over.
It's a parry, but it's a good stop because Curran hit that with some venom. Boundaries will be required for England at certain points, definitely, but also perhaps the use of the pockets on Sam Curran's leg side. Get the scoreboard ticking over. Required rate is nearly 10. And on this pitch, that might as well be 14. Gets it through extra cover, times it well. Mitchell in pursuit, in vain. Boundary, much needed.
First boundary in 16 deliveries. Just slightly short, and it just sat up. This pitch has no pace in it now. Aaron, who's played a lot of cricket in the subcontinent, good player of spin. England will need him to be.
Agree with Aaron Finch though when he talks about Curran's importance in the lineup now as a left-hander to keep the lines of the bowlers changing. Goes again through extra cover. Might not get a boundary this time. Mitchell will cut that off for a couple. At a bit short, or the right length do?
It's a bit short. It's just too easy to prop onto the back foot. If he comes running at you, so be it. He'll change his angle now and go around the wicket, which he did to one of the Sri Lankan left-handers 2 nights ago.
Curran opens his stance to counter the angle. Still goes through extra cover. That's just a single though. 4-2-1. It's in one of the great catches today, haven't we? What a game Phillips has had already. We've still got a fair bit to go. That simply was sensational. Degree of difficulty off the scale made it look so easy. Want to come back for 2, and they do in the end comfortably. So ticking over, 9 from the over, 73 for 4. themselves in a position at some point where they can launch. Maybe not just yet. Will Jacks has been excellent for England down the order, but this is a different proposition against a different side on a challenging pitch. .159.47 New Zealand posting, having won the toss. Comparison is New Zealand were 97 for 2, England in the run chase 73 for 4. Just a conversation with captain and bowler. And remarks his guard, looks leg side, the shorter side, long on, mid wicket, sweep, short fine leg, that's the leg side.
Oh, yeah boy, yeah boy.
Wants to target the leg side, he's got to go against the spin. Even Mitch Santner's heart rate leapt a little bit with that catch that Phillips took.
Said it earlier, I think we've seen the best 6 of the tournament, maybe just recency bias, but the best 6 of the tournament, the best catch of the tournament all this evening. One from Brook was phenomenal.
Sweeps hard, cries catch it, but it's a fumble. McConkey out there in the deep. We've just been praising New Zealand's fielding, particularly Phillips. That's a fumble.
Yeah, it's very rare from New Zealand. Did it spin on him as you sweep it? Sometimes it spins. No, just got his hands in an awkward position. Didn't know whether to go fingers up or fingers down. Somewhere in between.
Saw Banton, didn't we, in England's fielding performance do something similar at long on. Held that back. Banton did quite well to just wait. .99.43 New Zealand were, 79 for England are. Worms just continue to separate. This will be a real challenge for England to get there. New Zealand have them by the throat, really.
Santner has 2. They're the 2 key overs for me. 2 for 8 without a wicket, but that man on screen, they get Curran, you can imagine he'll be straight into the attack, but his 2 overs will be absolutely priceless.
Carved away, but can't beat backward point.
Hasn't gone to Ish Sodhi as yet either. Probably looking to bowl Sodhi from the end Glenn Phillips is operating from at the moment when that time comes. So you think Phillips, if he goes well off the last ball, keeps it to 8, maybe 9, he might get a last.
Strong shot, and the sting has been taken out of it slightly from Phillips, but such was the power, it has gone for 4, 84 for 4.
Good over for England, 11 from it. Boundary from the misfield and then a boundary off the last ball. Hit seriously hard. On levers as Banton, and he nails it. And even though Phillips got a hand to it, still hurried away to the boundary.
People do that and break the top of their finger. I think Phillips is okay, but I've seen some nasty injuries in those sort of situations. Just takes the top of your finger. He'll be more frustrated he didn't stop it. But a good over for England, and they're going to need more of that. Wide weight 9.5 now. Don't think we'll be seeing the seamers for New Zealand in the remainder of this game. That's quite rightly says a couple available for Santner, who's so important to New Zealand with the ball. He showed he hasn't bowled as of yet.
About the power so well. Mid-off, long off never had a chance, even though Phillips got a decent piece of it.
It's a bit of a gift. Yeah, it really is a bit of a gift. That is very unlike Mitch Santner. Sam Curran has leapt onto that.
Whether he thought that Curran may be charging and he tried to drag it straight and short. Curran did not move, and instead hit me, and he did.
Is he going to bowl both his overs here, do you think? Keep one back, maybe. See how this over plays out first. 72 or 46 needed.
Oh.
As well, good piece of hand on it, Phillips, but going too fast. I think just one for Santner here. He's got to go to Ish Sodhi from the opposite end.
Curran, the previous ball, was so frustrated with himself because there is a gap between backward point and the man on the point boundary. But such is the slow nature of the pitch, it's quite hard to get that angle. That's the gap I'm talking about. If there's any pace on it, that's not too bad for a lefty. When there's no pace, that's what happens. So bad ball for 4, but 4 good ones. The squeeze back on. This time he pulls the short ball away, but it will be fielded. Of course it will. It's Phillips. No fumble this time. Very good from Sant to save that one delivery that went for 4. 5 from it. 89 for 4. 4 down. Some of the big guns have gone. There is batting still to come. Will Jacks had a very good tournament, powerful tournament with the bat. I wonder, Nas, that name Rehan Ahmed sort of stands out, whether it's worth just throwing him up there and just see if he can play some sort of little cameo to close the gap a bit.
Yeah, I won't bring him in ahead of Jacks. I may bring him in after Jacks. Jacks is having such a good tournament that this would be a perfect role for him. I might go Jacks, Ahmed, Dawson. They even have promoted Archer, haven't they? Because they feel Archer is a 6-hitter.
Well, point, I suppose, it's more just Rehan against spin, can hit it in sort of awkward areas. Take your point about Jacks completely. Here is then Ish Sodhi. So many options available to Mitch Santner, and he's going for another one. 2 seamers used, and now the 5th spinner.
That short boundary is going to be tempting leg side.
Like that, Nasser Hussain, spot on. What a start to the over for England.
This is what they've waited for, because as a leg spinner and an orthodox leg spinner, you do have to go up a little bit. So this is what Curran's been waiting for. Short boundary leg side, hitting with the spin, apart from the wrong uns. This is the over they're looking for with Curran on strike. And Aaron Finch's point about having a left-hander at the crease, England's last left-hander.
Short again, but the wrong un going across Curran, so trying to take that leg side out of play.
Yeah, we did it on the pitch earlier before the ball was bowled. The other way of hiding the short boundary is just going wide.
Improved. Hard on it, Sam Curran is. An all-rounder when it comes to batting at that 5-6 position now in any side.
Oh!
Very good from Ish Sodhi after that first ball. Has gone for 6.
He's got the line completely wrong first ball. It's take the stumps completely out of play. You're looking to bowl a foot outside the line of off stump. Even if it's a bit short, it's still difficult to get to that leg side for the left hand.
Yeah, what Curran will be disappointed. Previous over he hit a 4 and then 3 dots. This over he's hit a 6 and then 2 dots.
Leg side heaved away towards the fielder and it's short. Thought Mitchell might have bought a ticket on that one, but he didn't get there quick enough. It's now bounced over the keeper's head. End result 1.
Well, Phillips is diving forward to catch this, that is for certain. Daryl Mitchell thought, shall I? And he ended up just saying, no, I'll save the boundary.
You want to watch the show, Wardy?
You can see exactly what Sodhi's trying to do now to Curran. He's off strike now, it's Banton. Curran in that situation shouldn't forget the offside though. If he is going to go across him with googlies, you can hit it hard at extra cover, try and beat the man there and pick up a couple.
Banton shouldn't forget the reverse sweep. That man's right on square on the offside. Banton, a very good reverse sweeper.
Oh!
Pretty good from Ish Sodhi, really is. So will Banton to the last ball go that reverse, because England need to keep going.
Yeah, because if he does, that man in the deep has to go behind square and then that'll open extra cover. I'm surprised he hasn't gone to one of his favourite shots, the reverse sweep, just to manoeuvre the field.
Maybe a bit of dew around. Ish Sodhi just grabbing a cloth off the umpire to dry the scene. Come through for 1, but pretty good from Sodhi, just conceding 8, including that 6 off the first ball. 97 for 4. England needs 63 from 36 drinks. Bit to do for England as New Zealand push a little further ahead. Very important game, certainly for New Zealand. England have qualified. New Zealand win, they will qualify top, and they will head to Mumbai to take on West Indies or India or Katie. We'll head to Kolkata, but we'll certainly take on South Africa. Phenomenal in the tournament so far. They were excellent yesterday, really were. New Zealand today, also Pakistan out carefully. Capture Mitchell in the deep to get rid of the dangerous Harry Brook. This was the onslaught that England were trying to put underway, and then Glenn Phillips did something quite extraordinary. That is, well, simply as good a catch as you will see. But this partnership is 39 off 32. And whilst Curran is there and the left-hand, right-hand combination is in play, will challenge the bowlers, which Summer has a few. Look at overs here though, Dooley, for New Zealand. It really will be difficult for him.
Manageable still at the moment at 10.5. Just the ability to pick up those 1s and 2s off the good deliveries that's evading England at the moment. Something they did so well in Pellekele in their previous game. Last 2 overs we've seen 7 dots. That's the in between the 4s and 6s, which they're more than capable of it, and still finding it's finding those 2s.
What about at the end, last couple of overs, Ian Ward said we may not see spin again. Would you bowl Lockie Ferguson at the death, or would you bowl a seamer at the death if you needed to protect 10, 12, or spin at the death? Which do New Zealand prefer?
Generally been seam. I wouldn't be tempted to go back to Henry and Ferguson at the moment.
I'm just talking the last 2 overs. Say it gets down to 20 off 2. Which would the captain feel more comfortable? A spinner bowling, one of those 2, or those 2 experienced seamers?
Himself if the right-handers are at the crease. I would say if Sam Curran is dismissed, probably look at himself to maybe take the onus of that last over.
Well, Will Jacks, by and large, to seam at the latter stage of an innings has been brutal, so that may be one reason if he's at the crease, that period of time you're talking about, that might not be the greatest matchup. It's Rachin Ravindra for now to start his 3rd. So 63 needed from 6 overs. Straight up in the air, it might land safe. He's got away with it, would you believe it? That boundary is tiny and he's hardly hit it out of the circle.
One of your finest slog sweeps there, Ian Ward.
Thank you, Brian.
Just landed out of the inner circle. Did it get out of the inner circle? Yes.
I wonder whether Santner's thinking 15, 17, 19, all left arm spin. 2 from Ravindra, 1 from himself.
Hit hard again, but just pick the fielders out. Santner stops it. They come through for a single to bring up the 100 after 14 overs and 2 balls, 100 for 4. The point about the dots, though, is very telling in this because of the dimensions. That offside, you get it's like a magnet, that leg side. It's got to be boundaries and 6s towards the scoreboard. New Zealand in their entire innings, 44 dots. England with 5 overs and 4 balls remaining, already 42. Heaved, leg side, out. That was always going to be out. As soon as you saw it heading to that man in the deep, he ain't dropping it.
Yeah, all 3 commentators looked up from the monitor to see who it was going to, and all 3 said out. Before he even caught it, there are some fielders you hit it to and you just put your bat under your arm and say, I'm done. Curran knew it. Have your best fielders in the best place where the ball goes, and off a left arm spinner to a left-hander is going deep mid-wicket. Good captaincy, good from New Zealand. Runs on the board, get your spinners on. Curran goes. 100 for 5 England. Curran made 24 from 22.
Will Jacks has done brilliantly for England in the latter stages of the batting performances throughout this World Cup so far, but this is a really stern test. Not completely beyond the realms. Get a couple of biggies away, but also pick up a couple of 2s. 60 needed from 33 balls. Excellent from New Zealand. Good tactics, great deliverance, and sound catching. Phillips has had a terrific game all round. Santner is livid, I think, at Ish Sodhi for not keeping an eye on the captain at short, fine leg. Anyway, that's his first delivery. Can't get off the mark.
Picked up 4 against Sri Lanka, did Rachin Ravindra. He's got another couple tonight. Said just left arm orthodox from our commentary end. Continue with it, and if they want to go right arm orthodox or stick with Ish Sodhi, they could do that to complete the innings. Just use the bigger side of the ground to the advantage against all of the right-handers that are left.
Well, that kept Santner at extra cover interested for a moment, but it's just a single. Excellent over for New Zealand. 4 from it and the wicket of Curran. 101 for 5.
From 30, you would say normally England might have their noses in front, but they are 5 down and we're not playing on a surface that they're used to, and that is the key right here and now. There's a few more twists in this tail so far, but Glenn Phillips has had a fair say in this match, and it isn't over yet. Ish Sodhi to bowl. Banton's in, he's a key. particular if he's going to play like that. 1 bounce 4 reverse sweep.
Well, it's Will Jacks who is up and running with that boundary, and he's had an outstanding tournament so far. Be full of confidence with the way he's played towards the end of the innings in this situation. He's got England out of trouble at least twice, needs to do it again.
Banton has to bat through, that's the point I'm making, because it's so hard to come out. And for Will Jacks, whose form has been superb, you must feel initially that he's batting on a different planet coming out here. Exposed so many good players, the slowness of the surface. Sodhi under pressure to deliver here. 2 men behind point.
Ow!
I think if Sodhi can bowl a lot of googlies at Jacks and push it through out of the front of the hand, playing to the long side, it both protects against the short side, and also Jacks is a more comfortable player through the offside and over extra cover.
Ability also to turn 1s into 2s on the bigger side of the ground if you have to. That you can't discount that fact. You just have to maximise every ball, and if you can't hit it to the fence, you'll have to look for a way to perhaps manufacture 2 in those wide open spaces. That'll hurt New Zealand as well. It's 2 runs a ball at the moment. New players, particularly tail-enders on the surface, they find it very, very hard. That's gorgeous cricket shot. It really is wonderful. He's such a big player in the remainder of this match.
Oh, one of the best shots of the day from Tom Banton. His ability to score all the way down the ground. To play sweep shots. Game plan in which he deploys will define if England get home or not today. It's the 30 off just 20 deliveries, but it's the control in which he's played this shot is possibly the most impressive.
Been out there a long time in terms of this match, that's why. Now there's a 2, there's a possibility of a 2 here. Jacks has to get his skates on, running to the danger end, he gets there. Good cricket, England.
Yeah, this is the glue, isn't it, in a partnership. This is worth another look. Yeah, all timing. It's the check drive. Extension. A shot to play on this surface. There aren't many batters today that have done extra cover with ease.
Got to get Banton. New Zealand have to get Banton here. He's the danger man. Got to end the over. A good one though for England, 13 from it. 114 for 5.
Questions for Mitchell. Who flinches first here? Does he go away from his spinners and go back to his seam bowlers, who were impressive at the very start, but we've not seen them since the power play? Story of spin and how England have played it. A lot on offer on this surface for all the spinners.
Quite interesting to see Ben Duckett out there giving Tom Banton the towel, because when Banton had a couple of early failures in this tournament, there were a few whispers from those watching on that maybe Duckett should be given a go. Good all-format player, excellent player of spin, but England kept faith with Banton, and then he started to play better cricket in Kolkata, and they're reaping the rewards of that show of faith now.
46 from 24. An informed player and a player who's been at the crease. That's England's cause at the moment. Really good work from Lockie Ferguson in the deep to cut that down to 1. 45 from 23. 44 for a super over. Thank you very much.
I wondered how long it would be.
Well,
Ian, before it came out of your mouth.
Statistician just said to me, and I believe everything they say. So, but that's true. 44. So keep your eye on that too, folks. Having so much fun, we might stay longer. Oh boy, that's great running. It had to be great running because the cricket from Santner was world class as well.
Yeah, I think he's safe. Both are quick. Banton sets off early, but it's Jacks that goes to the danger end. One-handed pick up and throw. Yeah, I think he would have been safe if Tim Seifert had gathered the ball and then taken the bails off.
Seifert was doing there, shaking his head like, what the heck happened there? Amazing. He dropped that ball. Anyway. Every dot, every single was just a little gold nugget for New Zealand in this situation. Pushing it up at England.
A significant spin on offer today. Ravindra, 0.2 degrees of spin. Very dramatic. You normally see the likes of Santner and Rashid dominating tables like this, but
it's good, really good from a part-timer who's developing his skill here. 3 singles and a dot in a crunch situation, putting it back on England.
Yeah, blessed to have spinning all-rounders New Zealand in Rachin Ravindra and Glenn Phillips. England have them in Will Jacks and Jacob Bethel. They're like gold dust in these conditions.
This could be out too. It is out. Chapman has got a really good pair of hands down there. He's very safe. And England are starting to feel the heat, it seems.
a rank short ball from the left-arm spinner who we've been waxing lyrical about. His accuracy, the level of turn. Certainly bowled better balls today. This sat up to be hit from Banton, but there's no pace to work with. So no timing either. Chapman in the deep. Smiles round. It's the big wicket at Tom Banton. He goes for 33. England 117 for 6.
He's got Ravindra bowling for him. He's got 7 wickets in 2 games on this surface. He's only very much a part-timer in the rest of the proceedings, but he has found a liking to this particular slow surface, and Banton really had to nail that. That was a big, big ball and a free hit basically, but to the short side he just picked out Mark Chapman. It was there, his eyes must have lit up. And what does Glenn Phillips think about it? He's about 100 yards away on the other side. He's loving it, Phillips.
Oh!
Rayan Ahmed is a new player and he's playing his first game.
He is. Debut for Rayan Ahmed in the T20 World Cup, but I class him as a batting all-rounder rather than a bowling all-rounder. So he can certainly bat, but this is a high-pressure situation to come into in your first World Cup game.
47 for 2 in the opening phase. Wasn't too bad because the power plays are the better time to bat. 50 for 2 was good, the consolidation, but now when the pressure goes on, the heat goes on, you find the wickets starting to fall. It happened with New Zealand as well. It's happening with England. And now 43 from 18. Phillips back in, the hot hand. And as good as Jacks has been in this competition, as I said, this is like batting on another planet.
Yeah, the right end for Phillips to get back into the action as well. Bowling to two right-handers to the longer side of the ground. It is a huge hit. If Jacks or Ahmed want to take that boundary on, they'll push hard for twos, try and get a little bit more momentum back and target the bowling the next over to the shorter side.
New Zealand have just had a warning for not starting the over quick enough. Be careful there, because you don't want to be left in a situation where you get penalised. Not in a tight game. 42 from 17. That is some cricket shot from a new man at the crease to run at Phillips and nail it.
Well, he is a talented batter, Rayan Ahmed. As I said a moment ago, I'd class him as a batting all-rounder. I think he's a better batter than he is a bowler right now, and he's certainly got plenty of flair.
He got a wicket of his first ball in this match, and Glenn Phillips absolutely appreciates the timing in that one to a small degree, but it's a big blow, and now it's 36 from 16. Oh, with both barrels here, England, they cannot just let it be done at one end. Both players have to be effective in this situation. Win Predictor says New Zealand hot favourites at 87%. That one flew off the bat of Rayan Ahmed. 94 metres. Your list ball has to be a boundary or a six. The six, it's gone to the longest boundary. It's beautifully nailed. That is the biggest hit on the ground, and Jacks gets it right.
Yeah, brilliant from Will Jacks. Times in this tournament for England, as he got them out of a situation. This could be another. Down the track, doesn't quite get close enough to it, but follows through with the plan. The shout is call. Good. It's gone a long, long way. 14 already off the over.
Keep going there, GP. Keep going, boy.
We'll get another boundary in this over. It's on here. 29 from 14. One more boundary in this over. Straight down the ground. I think that's 4. It is 4. This is huge for England. Worrying for New Zealand. You can see it on everyone's face.
Confidence surging through his veins, Will Jacks. Already 3 Player of the Match awards in this tournament so far. Taken to this role down the order, a finishing role, because he's more used to batting in the top 3 in T20. He's taken to it wonderfully.
He gives us space to run 2. This is huge. This a 2 now would get it down to 23 of 2 overs. And hitting to the short side in the next over. Thumped square. Thumped effectively too. Brilliant batting. Absolutely magnificent from England in that over. 22. Huge runs. Phillips is dismayed. New Zealand are worried. It's 139 for 6.
Well, questions to be asked about the plan. Exactly what has worked for New Zealand. Looking to turn the ball, variations of pace have gone away from it. sparing dive from Lockie Ferguson, but can do nothing. 22, what a game changer.
The old worm's gone up right in the garden. As it's joined forces with New Zealand's effort, and now this is, you talk about a captain's knock with the bat. This is a captain's moment with the ball. It's going to be Mitchell Santner bowling to two right-handers. This is brilliant hitting. This is the Ahmed one that triggered it. That was a glorious shot, and then Jack took on the hardest option of the lot, the longest boundary, and Phillips started to feel the pressure. An over-tossing delivery, and then one that was too short. That's pressure. England looked like they might be handling it better. 21 from 12. Santner with a huge over. Reverse sweep is effective. That's gorgeous cricket. Pressure on, big pressure on the New Zealand captain.
11 from 4, Rayan Ahmed. What a gem of an innings he's playing here. That's 6 down the ground off Phillips. Exactly the right option here, knowing that Santner would be slow and wide to keep it away from the short leg side boundary. Very smart batting.
Santner has to react to that reverse sweep because that's the line he wants to bowl. He has to protect that boundary, and he's done that. He's put a deep backward point, and he's had to bring up square leg inside the circle to compensate for that. But he still wants to bowl wide of off stump to protect the short boundary. I think they'll risk two. They don't have to at this point. They're in the driver's seat, England, you think.
Yeah, they certainly are. What a hand this is from Rayan Ahmed. Plenty of support for Will Jacks. He's almost released pressure and not piled it on, which a lot of the time today batters have struggled once they've come to the crease. Not Rayan Ahmed.
27 runs off the last 8 deliveries. Punishing New Zealand. They thought they had it. They haven't yet. I'll get 2 here. Ahmed will run back on the arm of Ferguson, so this is working out to plan problems for Santner. He needs to break this partnership, get a new player out.
Where does he go next, the final over? Smithy?
Well, I think he probably might have to go back to pace to change it up again, because it looks at the moment, and if he bowls a spinner, it'll be a part-time spinner or one with not very much experience. He probably has to go back to Henry or Ferguson. 2 more. Ahmed will come back just like the ball before. This is good from England. New Zealand's body language says it all.
Yeah, they have to do something. They need a wicket. It might be worth a field change. They're just trying to protect runs at the moment, but England are doing this with ease, both picking up singles and twos quite easily. This is where your vice-captain comes in. Obviously, there's a huge amount of responsibility on Mitchell Santner. Somebody possibly to have a word about what the plan might be. He continues to bowl that wide line, and England pick off 1s and 2s, and then take a risk on top of that. They cruise it.
Are you saying offer up the short side then?
Yeah, simply yeah.
Yeah.
Single, and there was a chat also. Actually, the chat became between the two batters, and I think they've said we can win this game. We don't have to be stupid here. We probably need 1 more boundary to win it. That's all. Just 1 more boundary and some smart cricket in the whole of the remainder of this. Just 1 boundary.
Yeah, this is good from Jacks. Just shepherding experienced Ahmed. Could easily get carried away in this sort of a situation, given the type of day that he's had.
Now he will clear the boundary. Will he? Does. He does. Waited an eternity to Lockie Ferguson. He went as far back as he possibly could. And Rayan Ahmed has played an absolute gem of an innings here. 18 from 6. And he's given England every chance. It's 155 for 6.
Was that calming him down? impetuosity of youth and all that.
He's fired him up, hasn't he? He's given him a crack at the whip, Will Jackson said, you know what? He's seeing it like a beach ball, nowhere near it. Such is the strike that he gets and the level of commitment to the shot. It's enough to get it over Lockie Ferguson at long off. Looked as if he was in the game.
Amazing, the other night New Zealand took a gamble on Cole McConkey and it paid off. Tonight England have taken a gamble on Ryan Ahmed and it has paid a huge dividend, and it will be Matt Henry. It'll be pace on or quicker bowling anyway.
Amazing innings that Ryan Ahmed has played. A couple of mighty sixes down the ground. That reverse sweep of Mitch Santner's taking some risky options, but so accomplished. Maybe England are due to go back to India for their semi-final, whoever they play. Ryan Ahmed, this might be his only game of the competition if they go back to the same balance that they had before in India, but what a hand he's playing.
New Zealand will sit in Colombo and wait to see how good Pakistan go against Sri Lanka tomorrow night at Pallekele. 5 runs per over. 19 overs gone, so 6 deliveries, 5 runs needed, and you would think 2 players in, England will coast it here. Wicket, a wicket first ball, it has to be. Got to knock someone over here, Henry. Single out to Phillips, that's all you'll risk out that way. This is a partnership, 39 from 14 deliveries. Just cannot speak highly enough of what this young man has done. Walk out of the dugout in your first World Cup game. Not mission impossible, but mission very difficult. And do what he's done is quite outstanding. 18 from 6 and he's on strike now. He could have the final say. A boundary will do it for England. Matt Henry setting his field with precision through the offside, and a few hands on hips from the New Zealand point of view. Where has this come from? Rashed out to Phillips, they'll only get 1.
I'm not quite sure the plan here from New Zealand. 3 now to defend from 4 deliveries. They need a wicket. Easy to identify what the plan is. They're almost sitting back and hoping as to what's going to happen. Skipper himself and with wicket saving a single. Deep cover is now going out, which I find remarkable.
England have qualified, but they're not playing like a side that are taking it easy on anyone. This is a very professional performance. Really effective run chaser, a side that looks hungry and are getting better. Goes fine down towards fine leg, and that is it. England have won this match out of nowhere, really. It was just minutes ago we were saying New Zealand were 80% favourites to win it, and England have turned it on its head. A partnership of 44 from 16 has broken a few hearts out there. Brilliant England, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, maybe peaking at the right time. This was certainly a good marker for England playing against this excellent, efficient, proficient New Zealand side. As to where they are right now, New Zealand will have a nervy wait now because slightly out of their hands. They'll have to wait on results elsewhere. But England, they know they're going to India, they're going to Mumbai. They don't quite know yet who they're playing. It'll be either India or West Indies, but they'll take confidence from this and feel that with the way they played in the Super 8 stage, they're just coming to the boil at the right time.
Owen Morgan, I'm going to ask you, how do you rate that partnership in these conditions?
Well, extraordinary. A lot of people would have been backing the Black Caps, given how well they have played in these conditions specifically. It was going to be a bit of a dogfight given the score that was posted, but England played with great skill and great character. Wickets again for Will Jacks, just seems to grow in stature game on game in this tournament. Coach will be delighted. Brendan McCullum, various changes in the last 2 games, of which one of them was to get their captain up to number 3. It didn't work today. Introduction of Rayan Ahmed into this side, it's definitely added value today.
And the problem now that faces New Zealand, it's out of their hands. If Pakistan have an absolute blinder tomorrow night, they'll be sitting on the edges of their seats. They'll be hoping Sri Lanka can find some form. This is a winning moment. It's actually a leg buys officially, really, off the helmet. They won't be worrying about doing concussion tests now. England, they'll just be celebrating. And boy, what an influence on this tournament Will Jacks has been. Give him a job, he does it. 44 from 16, incredible, staggering success rate for Jacks. And England, well, they suffered early, but boy, they found some substance in the middle.
Yeah, it was the skipper, first of all, Harry Brook, that got them going, but then excellent work under pressure from Tom Banton in particular, 33 from 24. Sam Curran played his hand, but that partnership between Will Jacks and Rayan Ahmed, a match-winning one.
Partnerships were the key. They found 3 of note, really. Jacks and Ahmed is the winning partnership of 44 from just 16 deliveries. So hard to do that, it really was. And so to achieve that was absolutely outstanding and confidence building at the same time. New Zealand tried 7 options tonight, based around spin, but in the end, even then, Mitchell Santner lost confidence in his spinners and had to go back to Matt Henry. It was a job too hard, a bridge too far with so few runs to play with. So 1 for 19 from Henry from his 2.3 after a great start. This is the summary here. New Zealand 159 for 7. If you'd have taken a poll, everyone was thinking that was enough. No, said England. No, it's not enough. They win with 3 balls to spare and 4 wickets in hand. A very polished, confidence-building performance. A win by 4 wickets. So this makes tomorrow's game hugely important. Sri Lanka playing for pride in front of their own